Hello, hello.
Oh.
Um, I guess we're live. Fun time. Uh, hello and welcome to day three of the third anniversary Roll Plus Bond 72-hour live stream. I'm Aaron. My pronouns are he, him, or they, them, and I'll be your GM for this session. You can find me on Twitter at StarvingGamer, and the game we're about to play is available at thisisnotatable.itch.io. And today I have the distinct pleasure of being joined by Devin.
Hey, I'm Devin. I use he and they pronouns, and you can find me at Devin Decibel on Twitter, or check out the music I make at devindecibel.bandcamp.com. It's been used as the intermission music this whole stream. So if you like it, please check it out. Also, I'm a composer for hire, so if you have a project that needs music, hit me up, please.
And also Kai.
Hi, I'm Kai. If you must refer to me, you could use she and her. I am sometimes on Twitter at Alpha39. And yeah, I'm very excited to try this exceptionally goofy looking game.
And finally, we have pulling double duty as player and stream host, Remus.
Hi, yeah. I need to quickly adjust my volume in OBS because it comes through a different input. Hopefully, that should be level. Hi, I'm Remus. I use he, they pronouns. I am recording from the unceded lands of the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people. Sovereignty was never ceded. You can find me on the internet at The Lost Larrikin on Twitter and Twitch and other places, I guess. Probably. Yeah.
All right. So in case you're just joining the stream now, Roll Plus Bond is an online TTRPG community brought together by fandom and held together by friendship, where we play one-shots, design games, and just celebrate this medium that we love. This year, we're streaming in support of Black and Pink. That's a prison abolitionist organization. They're dedicated to abolishing the criminal justice system and liberating LGBTQIA2S+ people and people living with HIV/AIDS who are affected by that system through advocacy, support, and organizing. If you want to learn more about Black and Pink, I'd encourage you to read up on the work they do at blackandpink.org. So far, this stream, we've raised $1,530, which is amazing. Thanks, everyone, for their generosity. And if you would like to contribute, you can do so by visiting donate.rollplusbond.com. And that's plus the word, not plus the symbol. Or you can type !donate into the chat to get that link as well. When you
Aeryn,
donate, yes.
No, I was gonna do the radio style to tell them what they can win.
Oh, yes. What you can win is when you donate, you'll be given the option to choose to enter the raffle, where there will be fabulous prizes available, which include copies of several of the games that have been played across this stream, and also even some video games that were developed by one of our members, Maka. And if you're looking to get a little more invested in what happens in this stream, you can even type in !bingo and generate yourself a bingo card and, check things off as they come up, and maybe you'll get lucky for internet points. So this game that we're about to play is Wizards with Words. And it's actually a hack that I made of an unreleased game written by my friend Brandon Rolston. Shoutouts to Brandon, by the way, for his generous $25 donation. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here during the stream, but he sends his support. His game, Wizards, took inspiration from the 2D6 systems of PBTA games, particularly Dungeon World, and then also the one-page games of Grant Howitt. And then I had so much fun playing it that I thought to myself, well, but what if there were more pages? And so I put together this little game. And while Brandon's version used a random spell generator website, you just go there and they would give you a list of spells. I figured it would be more interesting to go full chaos mode and use a completely random word generator instead, and cobble together your spells that way. So Wizards with Words is a collaborative storytelling game about a group of wizards and going on an adventure, overcoming numerous obstacles, utilizing their brains, charm, and brawn, in addition to casting spells built from a random set of words. The game is intended to be played as a one-shot, so we have done basically zero prep for this session, which means I guess now would be time for us to dive into the character creation. So for the players, I do have a little rules reference handout in the journal. You can click and pull that up if you want. But to start with, so for each wizard, we have to choose our wizard archetype. The archetype describes the unique qualities that make you stand out from the other wizards and also gives you access to your signature skill. So, who has an idea of which archetype they would like to play as?
I was thinking of going with the gray wizard or the gray robe.
Okay.
Nice.
Um,
Remus, I
and,
saw you also had been interested in Muscle Wizard. So,
Um,
is there another one that
yes,
you want
but I
more,
was
or do you
leaning
really want?
towards Superstar or
Oh,
what
okay,
it
good.
was
Then I'll do
called.
Muscle Wizard.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the Grey Robe, the Muscle Wizard, and the Superstar. Devin, Remus, I don't know if you wanted to lay claim to any of those sheets on the table there. I know that the Roll20 text tool is a thing, but if you wanted to fill those in, or if you want, I can always do it as well. That's also fine.
Yep.
Yeah. You can give it a shot.
If at any point, Aeryn, you want to drag my boxes into like nicer alignment, please feel free.
Oh,
I'm doing okay so far.
yeah. That Roll20 loves a tablet. And
Sure does.
ignore the random pings as I try to drag things, because that's also how this works.
Mhm.
So, we have a Muscle Wizard, a Grey Robe, and oh, excuse me,
How do I move?
and the
text
Superstar.
boxes?
So,
Ah, there we go. Okay, I figured it out.
yes. So, as I said before, your Wizard archetype gives you access to your signature skill. For the Grey Robe, the signature skill is Fly, You Fools. Once per adventure, you can describe how you sacrifice yourself to allow your companions to escape any scene. You may return when dramatically appropriate with a new look. The Muscle Wizard's signature skill is I Cast Fist. You can cast a spell by channeling the magic into a punch. You'll roll 3d6 instead of the usual 2 and take the 2 highest dice. If you're familiar with PBTA games that use advantage, it's basically that. And if you roll less than 10 after modifiers, you will lose 1 point of staff due to the physical strain, in addition to any other consequences, and we'll talk about what staff means later. And finally, we have the Superstar, which the signature skill is Protect Your Brand. Anytime a consequence would cause you to reduce the modifier of your signature spell by 1, you can reduce the modifier of another spell you have modified by 1 instead. And all this will make more sense as we move forward through character creation. So the next step is name and look. And it looks like we have some great names. We have Cybertus, being played by Kai. Is that Cybertus? Is that the way we're saying that one?
Yeah, bud. Just right out the book.
Remus. Remus is, I mean, you know, there's the way they're in my head, and then maybe it's in your head different ways.
Fair. That's fair.
And then Elsinore Exquisite, being played by Remus.
Yep.
And Devin is the wizard Mixolydian. Is that also correct?
Yeah.
I guess I should have asked
that's
about
a
Elsinore
great
as
name.
well, but
Yeah,
I
just
just went for it.
Elsinore.
Remus, you're still a bit quiet on my end. I don't know if
Okay.
that's universal or if that's just me.
Is this better?
Yes.
Yes. I will
Cool.
go ahead and just boost you on my end as well, just for me.
Sure.
Just don't want you to get lost in the scrum once everybody's shouting at each other about magic. And then we have to choose our look. So wizards can look lots of ways, but the most important things that define a wizard are their hat, their robe, and their staff. So who is ready to describe what their wizard looks like, particularly in those 3 categories?
I hadn't thought about hat.
I have.
Uh-huh.
It's got to be backwards. I'm not sure. Yeah, if I can make up my own, I feel like I could probably choose two. So it's not like tiny, tiny, but it's definitely smaller than it should be. Because he not only has, so it's a muscle wizard, right? And I think he just really looks like a Venice Beach kind of bro.
For sure.
Like you would think he
Muscle
surfs,
Beach
but he
indeed.
does not. Yeah, exactly. um, so there's definitely like it's a normal size hat, but he's got such a big neck and such big shoulders, and
Right.
like everything looks a little too small.
And when we say backwards, are we saying is this a wizard's cap, the pointy wizard's cap, but it also has a brim on it? Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's
like that.
combination wizard hat snapback.
Yes. Or is a trucker hat and a snapback the same thing? Because I was thinking a trucker hat, but just a little bit higher.
Probably. They're close enough.
I'll
I
let
don't know for
reference,
sure.
Roll Plus reference, have fun with whatever they want because I rarely have an image in my head. So
And robe and staff, are those also as clear?
right, I forgot about those. I think the robe. I think
Uh-huh.
the robe is skin tight.
Okay.
Incredible.
But it's like it's tucked into like I don't know if they're board shorts or if they're basketball shorts. But it's kind of like peeking out the bottom of so the robe is like skin tight
Okay.
for the shirt zone.
Uh-huh.
But it's tucked into I'm gonna say board shorts. I said beach before. And it's a robe, so it kind of like peeks out the bottom of the board short legs.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
The
Here's
mental
an important
image
question
this
because you're the
conjures.
muscle wizard and you're on the beach. Does your robe have sleeves?
You did write this game, and I also would like to be polite to you, but of course it doesn't have sleeves. That's a very silly question.
I'm sorry. Yes. What a fool I was.
As for the staff, I'm looking at what we got here. I like the options, but I don't know if any of them are like. Oh, it's a this shows what I know. When you go to a gym and you just have the bar that you put the weights on,
Sure.
what is that bar? Is it the bar? Maybe the chat knows. I can't see the chat. So.
Yeah, I've never stepped into a gym on purpose in my life. No idea.
Okay, call it a barbell bar.
Sure, yes.
So not actually that heavy, but
Yeah, I mean that's
like
still
ready
a
to
chunk
lift.
of metal. That's it's not nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Anyone else have their wizardly look?
I think I have a really big wizard hat that like casts my whole face in darkness, kind of like the Final Fantasy Black Mages.
Okay, so big brim, big old floppy hat sort of deal.
Yeah, and my face is just darkness because you can't see it underneath the hat. But yeah, kind of classic fantasy wizard hat.
Is there even a wizard in there? Who could say? Any ideas on your robe and staff?
I think my robe is kind of like tattered. I think my sleeves are too long and kind of like are kind of shredded at the ends. And my staff looks like something you like would have found in a treasure chest at the bottom of a dungeon. It's like very elaborate but also very ancient. It looks like it's probably some powerful staff from ancient legend.
Yeah, it looks like raid gear. Bejeweled, adorned.
Oh yeah.
How about Elsinore? What are we rocking in terms of our wizardly visage?
Yeah, so I think in terms of a robe, they've got sort of like a traditional Indian like formal wear sort of suit, like the tunic style ones. And probably like, sorry if my cat is meowing a lot. Yeah, I know. He has a lot to say.
Yes. I mean,
Sort of
important
like
things.
a purpley blue iridescent color. So probably extravagant would be the word I'd use for the robe. In terms of a hat, I don't know what particular style of hat, but definitely very gaudy. Probably like a trim with like jewels. I don't picture anything too like pointy. Probably something like round and not too tall. Do with this what you will. And as for a robe, I reckon not robe, staff. That's the one I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking like a circus baton type thing.
Oh, okay.
With like purple and gold ribbons coming from it.
Beautiful. Excellent. You are the okay, the superstar after all. Yes, good. Oh. Yes. Okay. Good, good. So we have our very fabulous wizards. The next step then would be to choose your stats. So you have 3 points total to spend between your hat, robe, and staff. And those aren't just clothing items that showcase yourself as a wizardly person, but also they determine, in terms of hat, your intellect, because of course the height of a wizard's hat correlates directly to the height of their intellect. Um, we have your robe stat, which the beautifully tailored robe is a sure sign of a wizard possessing of the finest social graces. So that would be for charisma type things. And then finally is your staff stat. And as true wizards know, a staff is not an ancient focus of eldritch power. It's made for whacking things. So your staff stat is then for your physical aptitude. So again, that's a total of 3 points to spend. So that could be +3 to 1, a 2 and a 1, and a 0, or split it 1, 1, 1. However,
I'm going all in on hat.
okay.
Mm, can you help me assign
Yes, I can.
1 hat, 0 robe to staff?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Resisting the urge to min-max for your muscle wizard.
Just a little bit. I
I'm
don't
so
want to.
tempted
I mean,
to
he's
make
gonna be a
robe
dummy,
3.
but I don't want him to be too dumb.
Sure. All right, and we have Elsinore,
Yeah, going
the looker
hat
of the
1,
group.
robe 2, and staff 0.
Excellent, excellent. Good, good, good. Oh, and this brings us to the thing we've all come here for, where things get really weird. We need to memorize our spells. So, you have 2 options when you play this game. In the book itself, I made a curated list of 100 words, things that you would typically find in a spell, words like fire and ball, for instance. But we decided to go for the full chaos mode, and we're going to generate words from a random word generator instead. I tend to use randomwordgenerator.com for this, but whatever your word generator of choice may be, feel free. And because generating completely random words like this can lead to all sorts of difficult to use words in a spell name, we generate a list of 25 to pull from. So if everybody could please do that.
Okay.
Done. Got some
Oh
interesting
boy.
ones.
Why is Roll20 the worst for putting anything in?
Because it's the worst, and I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay,
Um,
that's fine.
yeah. Okay, so I
Wow, it truly will generate any word.
yeah, it can go pretty weird. So the way spell generation works then is once you have your list of words, you need to have 3 spells, and each spell needs to use at least 3 different words from that word list.
Okay.
Of course, you can modify words as necessary. Nouns, you can make them singular, plural, or possessive. If you pulled any verbs, you can change their tense or use them in their participle form. And then adjectives, go ahead and shift them over to an adverb if that makes more sense, as it often will in the case of a spell. And of course, you can use the word of for free. That's a free word to use as often in as many spells as you'd like. And of
So it
course,
has
the
to be
words
like
that
a phrase that makes sense.
you'll have to be able to describe what the spell does based on the name. So at least enough sense to do that, I guess. And then, of course, the remaining words that you don't use will go to your word pool. So none of you picked a archetype that messes with that directly, but you can always spend a point of hat, which you all have, to use the move Cook the Book, which lets you swap out any one spell for any words that are still on your list that have not yet been used.
So one of our spells is going to be +3 and the others are +1.
Right, and so you have 3 spells. One is your signature spell, which is going to start with a +3 modifier, and then your other 2 spells will start with a +1 modifier. So whichever one you think is awesomest, put that in the +3.
I'm going to make my spells first and then decide which one's the awesomest.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I've with my list, I've come up with the Pill of Helpless Revenge, and
Tough pill to swallow for sure.
or I mean, is it a great buff? I think it might be kind of like you're like very focused on doing some revenge, which gives you some benefit, but also means maybe you're vulnerable.
I guess I'll have to find something that you'll need to avenge then. And of course, another thing is to remember is that you do not need to decide what the spell does now.
Sure.
That does not become true until the first time you cast it. So, just pick some words, make a cool sounding spell. What does it do?
In my word pool, I do have moon, and I know that that's a bingo thing. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up with the moon.
Love a good moon.
Once you're casting spells at the moon, it's no longer a normal moon, I don't think. But
I guess it depends on if I succeed.
That's true.
Sorry, the spell has to be 3 words?
Yes, at least 3. If you want to be brave and use more words, you can, but yes, at least 3.
Okay.
That's how you make sure that the spells are going to be at least a little bit weird.
That's true. Because I also have the word misplace, and misplace moon is just so tempting, but it's not long enough. That's life.
This is hard.
There's so many
It is.
words, and there's so many different combinations of words.
Yeah, I know.
I literally have the word heal, which is
Ooh.
like a good word for a spell, but like I'm trying to figure out how to make it 3 words.
Yes, that's a tricky thing.
I have both heal and support.
Dang.
I'm so glad I'm the superstar and I have both the word concert and chord in my word pool.
That's spectacular.
I mean, you could always do Snuggle Dog of Joy. That could be a spell you cast. I don't know why, but
That's incredible.
Oh man. Ooh. I don't know what this does, but here. I don't think it can be my +3 spell, but here comes one of the +1 spells. Shadow Moon Attraction.
Oh boy. I mean, that's no normal moon. That's a
The
shadow
Shadow
moon.
Moon.
It's coming at you, or something.
Maybe. Maybe you take on the attractiveness of the Shadow Moon. We'll
So mysterious.
can't
so
wait
alluring.
to see.
Oh,
I've got one, which is Leaf Dog
Yeah.
Army.
gonna get
What is it?
Naruto in here. You're just Kakashi now. Summon all those leaf dogs.
So far, I have Arise, Smashing Troop,
Also good.
and Progressive Evolution Gene.
Wow. Sure.
Oh, that's great.
Love to cast evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So many good words.
I want to use heal, but I can't make something fun out of it. Heal's boring. Time heal. I don't know what that means though.
I mean, that's
Or
for you to
healing.
decide.
I have Arise, Smashing Troop, and then just like favorable healing time. Because I have favor and time.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna go
I'm going
with
with it.
Suit T's suggestion in the chat of Demand Wrestling Ritual,
Ooh.
because that's good. And yeah. Does my character have any points in staff? No, it's fine.
I mean, you could demand it of other people.
Exactly. That's what the muscle wizard's for.
I love that. Oh, this is wrong. Sorry, Aeryn. Can you help me delete my +3?
oh, the word?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I got distracted, left the tab, and came back to find that I could not edit.
Oh, fun.
With the new like update of the text tool, I've been unable to figure out how to change the size of text.
It seems to break a lot. Like, I can usually, like, when I'm doing a new text thing, it'll let me mess with it, but then, like, if I've clicked off of it like 3 or 4 times and just nothing works, I don't know. It's Roll20.
Because like I can click on the word and I can highlight it, and I see in the top left corner where it says Arial 16 font.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I click on that, it disappears.
Yeah, it's been doing that off and on. I still have control for now until it breaks for me. Do you want me to change any of your words?
I mean, I just wanted to like make the text smaller so that I could fit more, but it's probably
Yeah.
fine.
I mean,
Oh.
we can do a 14 to 12. These are all things we can do.
I haven't shared my words.
It's, you know, there's
I'm gonna do that.
special words are just for you.
I'm
Or
gonna
share.
delete. Just gonna delete racism out of there.
Oh yeah. Random word generator. Sometimes it gets you. Unfortunately, that's a real word. That's important to know, but maybe not for casting spells as a silly wizard.
Yeah.
Dry Gold just said in the chat, concert of confusion of ethics, and I was just thinking concert of ethical confusion, but that is probably not as fun as I'm wanting.
I mean,
no.
you know.
I kind of want to use glue.
Mm.
Oh boy. Aeryn, I can't edit this.
No worries. I will.
text box for you.
Yes, I will smash it into shape for you. No worries.
Greatly appreciated.
Roll 20. It's my fault for making you come into roll 20. I did this.
No. I do love the background. The random desk.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
my
fun.
floor.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's great.
At first I was like, do I use a stock photo? And I was like, well, then you have to maybe credit or something. I figured I'll just take grab stuff in my house, take a picture
Yeah.
of the floor that looked more desk-like than any desk I've got. And
Oh, I just came up with another good one.
nice. You gotta choose.
Yeah.
Gotta commit.
Implicit time correction.
Oh,
Wow.
That's a great
that probably does
name.
something. Magic's got to do something.
Sounds powerful.
But
Yeah.
progressive evolution gene is pretty intense too. And a rise smashing troop, that just means I can make like skeleton knights or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Almost done with these words. Hey. Okay. There we go.
Ah, thank you.
Got rid of the unnecessary one and
Perfect.
words. What? Let's see. What could you have done? I mean.
Yeah,
wait,
I would love to see suggestions.
Oh,
That's
I never
really
showed
fun.
my words, but it's,
Hell
I
of
guess.
movie revenge. Oh boy, I didn't even. I guess it depends on which kind of movie you're talking about.
Exactly. And I think that might let it be a little flexible upon further castings, like while still staying within
Yeah.
whatever gets established. But you're like, but this one is more
Mhm.
like a sci-fi, and this one is more like a drama.
Yeah. See, this one's
one,
taken.
A zombie. Yeah.
Now I am Kill Bill. Trick of managing acid. Concert of glue confusion. Now, a concert of glue raises questions that I suppose we'll answer in time.
I mean, it is a concert of glue confusion, so...
Yes. So it's good that I'm already confused just by the name.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like we've done the hard part. We've generated words. We've figured out 3 things that sound kind of like spells, I guess. Which means that it's time to figure out what are we doing. So there's implications in the writing of the book, but the world is your oyster. We need to figure out who are all y'all. How do you know each other? Where even are we? What sort of world is this? What time is it? This could be a high fantasy Lord of the Rings sort of deal. We could be in the future in space, cyber wizards, whatever tickles your fancy. Progressive evolution gene sounds pretty sci-fi, but
Having movie revenge makes me hope that we can go for something at least pseudo present
I'm
so
good
that
with
movies exist.
Is it too late to change my staff to a keytar?
It's never too late. But for a good idea as good as that, never too late.
Roll 20, please. Let me edit text.
Never. There we go.
I don't-
Guitar. Oop.
I don't think I care what time period we do, because I feel like my wizard is going to be anachronistic anywhere.
Sure. You are the gray robe, so who knows how old you are. Okay, so modern times, and what is the situation, I guess, around you? Is this a wizard schooling sort of thing? Are you part of a department of wizards, crime fighting wizards? Are you? Oh, I don't know. Wizard University. I know that Devin, during during Spell Jams, you were talking about pulling inspiration from the Discworld novels recently.
And my game is literally about Wizard University.
Yeah. So as a longtime Discworld head, there's also a lot of that in when I'm thinking of wizards. But
I see a suggestion in the chat, which
Oh.
does sound very good. Wizard Spell Convention from
Wizard
Sweet
Spell
Tea.
Convention.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love that.
So I mean,
WizCon.
yes,
WizCon.
not to be confused with Wizard Con, which I think is a real thing, right?
Is probably. There's a con for everything.
I think it's is it East Coast Comic Con? I might be confusing it with something else. Truly doesn't matter.
WizCon 2020. Oh God, this is a bad year for cons.
Alternate universe, it's
Bruh.
fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Alternate universe, it's fine.
WizCon
This universe has
93.
wizards. We can cast favorable healing time. It's fine. And what do we think is the great what is the goal we need to achieve here? What is the quest that we are being sent upon?
Are we at the convention, like, attending? Are we panelists?
Are we friends?
Are you
Do we
friends?
know each other?
Are we just meeting for the first time?
I think it'd be fun if we know each other from
Yeah.
some, the sorted read. We've attended previous con. Maybe we're just con friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we've been going to this con and meeting up for, like, a couple of years.
That's fun.
Okay, WizCon 2022. And do we have any thoughts on what the goal should be? It's probably nothing quite so dramatic as the things in the book. I don't think you need to stop anybody from ensorceling the dragon god probably at WizCon, but maybe you do.
What? That happened one year.
Yeah, it might happen again, but hopefully not.
The Great WizCon disaster.
You get enough
of
wizards in a
2019.
room, some bullshit's gonna happen.
I'm trying to think, like, what drama could happen at a wizard convention.
It's infinite possibilities for drama, unfortunately. Or fortunately? It's that analysis paralysis. Too many choices.
Maybe there's like a corporation that's like trying to get involved and is kind of like diluting the experience for the like old heads.
Curse you, Disney.
I mean, somebody could be fucking trying to summon a dragon at the convention.
I would like that, like somebody who is Like, I don't get enough attention. I've had the best. I've been second. Oh, here we go. I've been second place at the masquerade, like costume competition for 16 conventions, and I swear to God, I'm just gonna fuck shit up this year.
Yes. Excellent. Good.
Okay.
Okay. So. It's the start of the con. As cons go, a lot of people lined up out front of the convention center, wherever we are, a city, somewhere on the planet, probably, that that hosts the WizCon every year. Well, I guess maybe not if it's the 2022nd instance of the con, as was suggested, but you know, it's been here at least the past couple of years. So you're, as long-time con goers, you know the lay of the land. This is pretty old hat. You know what time to get in line, where to get the badges. That's pretty much running like a well-oiled machine after so many years of Wizards organizing it. What on day one? What is the sort of attire that you're bringing with you, other than your, of course, hat, robe, and staff? What sort of con-going gear do you guys have with you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
My hat, my robe, my staff is all I need.
I think Sibertus, who of course often goes by Bert, has
good.
got like two fanny packs. No, okay, one is a fanny pack and one is those like weird backpacks that were a thing for a while, where they're like a fanny pack that you wear over one shoulder and down to your hip.
Yeah,
I gotta find a picture. These are, I hate them so much, but I definitely have one. Okay. Yeah, so he's got one of those, and then he's got an actual fanny pack slung on. And it's just, you know, it's got like primarily, but probably like spell components as well. And are those the same thing sometimes? Absolutely. Has he taken, like, has he reached in and thought he was getting a snack but accidentally put a handful of feathers in his mouth? So many times.
But you know, you grit your teeth and chew through it because you can't let people see weakness.
Yeah, that's protein thing.
Is it?
I feel like it'd be more fiber than protein.
I don't think it is.
Isn't it keratin? I don't know.
I don't think that's like a digestible protein, is it?
Not for you. I got.
So you need more stomach
amino
muscles, then you can
acid.
digest anything. That's how that works.
Yes.
I think.
And what about Elsinore? Any fancy?
Yeah, I think
schmancy con
Elsinore
going
has
gear?
their usual sort of iridescent purple tunic, robes on, maybe with like a belt, and they've got a very large shiny purple keytar, similar to the one, if you search purple keytar, one of the ones that will come up is the one that Prince has. Why are all of the images of this such low resolution?
Prince was a long time ago.
This is true.
So we're guitars.
There we
still buy
go.
one.
Just popped it on screen.
I mean,
So it's
you can
quite
buy
big
anything.
and probably
Yes.
impractical to carry around a convention.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
You got to commit to the bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no more unwieldy than holding a whole ass staff, and this one has a shoulder strap. So if anything,
Yeah, exactly.
good. So, do you guys? Is this a sort of con friends group where you guys get a room together to save money, or is it just you meet up every morning sort of thing?
I think a room
Uh,
together could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, morning of the con. Because you're all old hats at this. I'm assuming you all have you did the paid the whatever a few bucks extra so that they mailed you your badge ahead of time via wizard mail, whatever that is. Teleportation spells probably. Um, so you're able to skip the longer line of the fools who thought that they'd save $5 and wait in line for 5 hours instead. And you're able to get waved in, and you're not 2 steps into the convention center before you are pulled aside by an older wizard. This is someone that you've, as a group, have interacted with several times in the past. His name is Jorrit Vega. And when I say older wizard, it's it's with wizards. It's hard to tell. Does older mean 90? Does older mean 900? But definitely before your time, and not doing any magical work to hide those years.
Mixolydian says, "Hello, child."
Um, he he squints at you. Still on that, huh? Well, anyways, I'm glad that I found you guys. There's a problem. I think it's a problem. And so Jorrit, as someone who runs one of the booths regularly every con, and his specialization is old, and archaic, extra archaic, to be clear, magic books of all varieties. Of course, spell books, but some wizard fiction, probably even some wizardly fan fiction. But that's not what he's concerned about right now. Right now, he's concerned about the spell books. And he says, I was going through my stock this morning, and I realized that someone had lifted my book about summoning the dragon god. And here's the thing, I've got a wizard alarm set on it, so I know if somebody's messing with the spells inside. Probably should have put a location spell on it too, but I didn't. But I can tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that someone has been messing with the book all morning, and they're probably going to try to cast the spell. Now, I haven't told anybody else about this because I don't want people to panic. And after the thing happened in 2019, if the con staff finds out, I could get banned for life, and I don't want that to happen either. And I know I can trust 3 of you to keep this quiet, but maybe look into it for me. I've got to man the booth, but you guys have the run of the floor, so for old time's sake, maybe I'll give you a little extra discount this year. Or you know what? If you can solve this one for me, discounts for 2 years. What do you say? Huh?
Hell yeah,
Do it.
bro. And Bert goes for a fist bump.
Yes, a dragon at the convention seems like it would be very bad. Speaking kind of loudly.
Nay, on the dragon, Agandre. Dragon A? No, quiet. Shh.
You had the foresight to put detection charms on your books and not location charms?
I mean, usually the books are at the table. I just need to make sure nobody's cracking a book open and trying to cast a spell inside while I'm trying to sell it to them. Nobody's stolen a book before we even got started before. That's extra rude.
Hey, Jorrit, did anybody look at it funny? Wait, no, yesterday wasn't even open.
Wasn't even open.
Weird.
All my stuff was packed up. I don't know. They're super sneaky, I guess. Ninjas, probably.
Oh.
This is literally the plot of the Discworld book that I'm reading right now.
Incredible.
Dang it.
Wizard ninjas. You see them on the floor wearing their headbands. Everybody's got that black cloak with the red clouds on it. Ninjas.
I usually find that wizards that have tried to summon dragons are compensating for something. Do you know anybody who is an inadequate wizard?
I mean, just gestures.
Elsinore just like nods in agreement.
Yes.
Subertus kind of like edges a little closer and is like, what about any specific rivals? Enemies?
Me? No.
I like you, Jorith, but I mean, you're kind of a nerd, and not everyone's going to be down with that.
I mean, sure, but if they wanted to stick their thumb in my eye, I don't think they'd just steal one random book and then just go try to cast it somewhere. You know, they'd mess up my whole stock or something. Just one book, I mean, you know, there's no guarantee I'd even notice they stole it. I did, because I'm very attentive to my stock when it's not getting stolen.
I'm sure summoning the dragon god with your stock would be enough to get you in substantial trouble.
It's you know, even if they summon it, there's lots of dragons, lots of dragon summonings. You know, no guarantee it comes back to me. You're the only ones who know. I mean, and you're not going to tell anyone, right?
Elsinore just looks at Mixolydian, who shouted about it like a minute ago.
Well, you know full well that Mixolydian just like speaks in a booming voice at all times.
Yeah.
Gonna have to put a muzzle spell on that one. Well, anyways, people are coming in. I got to get back to the booth.
You let us know if you get any weirdos today.
I'm gestures again to the area around you all.
Bert like points at him and is like, "You know what I mean."
I know what you mean. I'll then waves his hands real quick.
Give
okay,
us the ring on our.
I mean,
spell.
not. Waves his hands. Communication spell. There, we're hooked up for the next 12 hours. So I'll let you know if anything happens on my end. But I'm guessing if they're out there trying to cast this spell, they're not going to come anywhere close to me.
Oh wait. Do you have any extra copies
Of an ancient tome
Yeah, dog.
of
monks
forbidden
copied them.
arts.
Yeah, dog monks copied them. He repeats, or I don't know, whatever the equivalent of wizard monks is. Like,
Wunks.
Yeah, okay, fine. I got an extra copy. Come with me. And he starts heading off towards his booth. And as our three wizards head off into the depths of the con, why don't we take a 10-minute break?
Sure.
Awesome.
For everybody who's viewing, do not touch that tab because we will be back. to the 3rd annual Roll Plus Bond 72-hour live stream where we are supporting Black and Pink. And if you'd like more information on that, please go to donate.rollplusbond.com or type !donate into the chat. We are resuming our game of Wizards with Words, where our 3 plucky con-going wizards were about to go to... Oh, I should have thought of the name for Jorah's booth, but I didn't, so there isn't one. Rip. To the booth of Jorah Vega, who has misplaced a tomb with instructions on how to summon the ancient dragon god, which he is convinced is being meddled with in an attempt by someone somewhere out there to, in fact, summon said god. So we had asked Jorah if he had a copy of the book. He intimated that something approximating that could be made available to you, and he has led you to his booth in the con. Again, it is early on day 1, so as you had your mailed in badges and were able to get in quicker than others, it's still fairly light on the floor. It's still a decent crowd. Looks like a good turnout this year based on what you've seen in years past. And Jorah takes you over to his booth adorned with all manner of books. His booth assistant is there as well. And whereas the assistant is attending to customers, Jorah sort of pulls you around to a sort of blind spot behind the booth. You see him wave his hands a bit in vaguely arcane gestures, and then he shoves his hand into what looks like a dark void of some kind, and comes out of it with what looks like it's just a bunch of loose pages with a big binder clip holding them together.
Can I real quick pitch a name for the booth assistant?
Of course you can.
Earlier, Captioner said Amanda Booth, and I think that's an incredible name.
Yes, okay.
I don't know
Booth,
what
indeed.
it was trying to caption, but...
Yes, there. Okay, so Amanda Booth. Yes, Amanda Booth is there doing her darndest to man the booth, as it were. And yeah, so he pulls out a stack of loose pages held together by a very, very large binder clip. So a little trick is whenever somebody purchases a book, I have a system that sets up to automatically generate these pages that can be then transformed into a new copy. But that's a whole thing. I usually do that, at the end of day to replenish stock. These pages are only going to exist for the next until tomorrow morning. So here you can take them for now, but please get them back to me by the end of the day so I can turn them into something more permanent. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good luck. And he turns back to the booth, determined to have you go do this thing and not think about it for the next short while at least. What would you, fair wizards, like to do?
I'd like to take a look at the spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you flip through the pages and it looks like a photocopy. This is apparently some sort of automated photocopy spell system that he has set up. Who knows? It's the present day wizards. And it's a whole book for one spell, so there's a lot to go through. There's a lot of specific materials and incantations that need to be done in the correct order, of course, runes, things about locations, and everything that could possibly go into a spell is part of this spell. So what's something more specific you might be looking for here?
I'm curious about like the components or like the circumstances that the spell needs to be cast under, because
Mhm.
if we can figure that out, we might be able to track somebody down who's trying to cast it.
Oh, or like preemptively find the casting spot,
Yeah.
take it out or something.
Mm.
Okay, so again, this is because this is such a big book, and it is very very complex, of course, as intense magical rituals always are. I think if we're trying to find something under a time crunch and this absolute mess of information, it sounds like you're trying to do something that maybe has some risk of failure. Maybe it's time to bring the dice into this.
Ooh.
Couldn't be me trying to bring
Couldn't be
dice
you.
into it.
And just so you know, you're kicking this whole thing off, so you're setting the tone for everything that happens from here on out. No pressure. So when we do non-magic stuff, we say what we do, and then we roll 2d6, and then we add the relevant modifier from hat, robe, or staff. Again, hat is the height of your intellect, robe is for your fine social graces, and staff is for how burly you may be. So, I would say that if you're trying to read through a spell book and pick out pertinent details, that would probably be related to intellect.
Good thing I have a +3 in that.
Good thing you're so smart. So, why don't you
So
give me
2d6
your 2d6 plus 3?
Any day roll
Drum
20.
roll, please.
Any day now.
Right. Roll 20, please.
Did roll 20 disconnect? And you'll need to refresh the page. Mine does that
Maybe.
a lot.
If something shows up in chat, let me know though.
Yeah,
Why doesn't it
I'm watching it. Well, I tested it, and it seems to be accepting
Yeah.
me. So,
Okay.
No,
I
I
see you
see that.
typing. You're typing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying again.
It knows that you're here now.
Okay, cool. Whoa!
Hmm.
That's yes.
That's a 15.
That's a yes. No, that's sorry. It's a 2d6 plus 3. That's an extra die, but that's fine.
Oh, whoops.
No worries.
My bad.
Yeah.
Either
no,
way, it's either a
either way,
15 or a 13.
it's a 13. So 13 is as good as you could as ask for in this situation. So on a 10 plus, you do it. So based on you're just so good at this, right? You have the sight, you have the vision, you have read through books so many times like this before, so you know where to go, which keywords to skim for, that sort of thing.
It's a lot easier organized in these newer books. This book is like
So-
ancient, right?
So what you're able to glean then, because you're so adept at this, you can do the math, and you're able to figure out based on how many steps there are and what all is going on. You can pinpoint pretty much the exactly where in the spell this person is likely to be based on when they stole it, and you're just doing that whole forensic analysis thing, putting all the clues together, connecting the red threads, and you're able to pinpoint that for the current step that they're on, they would need to be on the very tall rooftop currently, higher than any other building within sight, and they would need to be burning about 3 pounds of ginger, and then other things. There's words and circles that need to be drawn and all sorts of that stuff. But as far as real material information, the highest building around, and burning a lot of ginger. So something to go on at the very least. But because this is such a complex spell, so many steps, if we're thinking this person is going to want to complete it before the end of the con because they want to mess up the con in some way, probably a safe assumption, then you would realize that, okay, well, they're not going to be here for long, so you have limited time before they move on to the next step.
Okay, well that's something. That's something to start with. I think Bert like claps Mixolydian on the back and is like, "Excellent, excellent. Tallest building." And he like looks out the window, like just trying to scope it out. Because I don't know what city we're in, but usually the highest building is pretty easy to pick out.
I'm just gonna roll D2 as a fortune. I'm gonna flip a coin.
Mm-hmm.
1 is in your favor, 2 is not.
Okay.
1. Okay, yeah. So yes, it is peeking out the window. It is very obvious. Then this is the sort of city where there is just one building that is much taller than all the other buildings in this mystery city that we're inside of. You know, fancy modern skyscraper, big. If you were to really squint your eyes and look up there, you would say, okay, well, maybe there's some smoke coming from the top of that building. It's high up. It's hard to be sure, but it could be.
Cool. I think Bert turns to the other two and says, "Anybody got a way to get there fast? Because otherwise, you can just get a taxi." I got some discounts in my phone.
Looking at our stupid spells.
Yeah, ditto. I'm trying to think of a way that Shadow Moon Attraction could kind of like. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hear me out. It's a sort of like, it will either bring something to you or bring you to something. I guess like the bigger thing wins, maybe gravity style. But like, you have to set up like the mirror opposite kind of thing. Like that's the shadow part of it. I suppose the moon comes from like drawing on the moon for the magic, so maybe it'll be weaker because it's daytime. But in any case, like you have to, if we're trying to get to somebody who's burning 3 pounds of ginger, like we have to have 3 pounds of the opposite of ginger, like something opposite, and then like focus our attention on the place that we know it is. I don't know. I don't know if this is a little bit too
I was
over
just
the top.
picturing, what if a flying carpet was a moon, but flat?
And it
which is
and
less
it would.
fun.
I don't get the attraction.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
Oh, okay.
But that could be how the
I mean,
transportation
I guess
bit
you could
works.
you could give it a command, right, to be attracted to a certain thing, and then it could seek it out because now it is
I like
attracted to
that.
this thing.
I like that. That's way better.
I do have one other silly pitch.
Please.
What if you can summon the shadow moon to any point in the sky you can see, and then it just slingshots you into that direction?
I love that.
I mean, you know,
I don't know what the shadow moon is, but I'm glad it's on my side.
it's not the normal moon, unfortunately, but
it implies that there is it implies that there is a normal moon. I guess I'll say you could take that bingo spot. It's implied. Yeah, no, I really like that as a sort of slingshot point. But I guess. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was thinking, like, I don't know if this just kind of folds into the role, but it could certainly just be something funny to talk about, like, between the three. Bert is like, actually, don't worry about it. I got this. Here's where I do need to, like, pull together the brain trust. And he, like, points at everyone's hats. Like, especially at Mixolydian. And is like, what's the opposite of burning ginger? Do we have to, like, freeze? And he just is like
ginger?
working his hands in a circle, like trying to think of the opposite of ginger. I'm sure that, like, honestly, there's probably some like wizardly equivalence table, but it's just not coming to him at the moment.
Like, where's the wizard periodic table?
Yeah, exactly. Does it have to be metal? Because this is a thing of earth. I can't remember.
Ginger is a root.
Well, ginger is
gotta
spicy.
be yellow on the outside and brown on the inside.
What's the opposite of spicy?
Banana. Bitter, bitter. No, bitter
Sweet.
and spicy are both bad.
Maybe sour.
It's so subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like what it is will kind of come up in the roll, maybe. Tamarind, is that brown on the inside, yellow on the outside?
No clue.
He's like flipping through a book.
Did you pull the book from your little pouch on your shoulder? From your
Oh
shoulder?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tamarind is
It's
like,
like a little-
a light brown on the outside and a dark brown on the inside.
Which thing is?
Tamarind.
Oh, okay. I know. We're gonna need a lot of it though. Oh shit. Okay, I actually did literally just Google brown on the outside, yellow inside. And thank God for Google, but also unthank God for Google because it's given me durian fruit, which is brown on the outside and yellow on the inside.
But
Oh,
so
wait, no. Yep, I've done it backwards. Shit.
That's-
Because the other option was those golden kiwis, which are yellow. Dang it. Today I am truly Sibertus.
It's
How embarrassing.
gross banana.
Yeah. This is fully in character. Yellow on the outside.
Just throws
A
away the
chocolate
book, pulls
cake-
out your phone.
A
opens up
chocolate
Google,
cake with
opens
yellow
Google.
frosting.
Oh, that's nasty. Lemon frosting? Chocolate cake?
Yeah.
Tropical chocolate cake. Banana frosting.
I feel like tamarind works.
I
It's not
like
quite yellow.
I like it that Elsinore is like going back to let's not throw this idea out. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you like dry it and stuff. But like Bert puts up a finger, he's like, on the other hand, if it's still in the plant category, that's not really an opposite, is it?
True.
Well, ginger is healthy. Maybe something unhealthy.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Roast corn dog. I'm sorry, I'm not here. I'm not.
I like that at Wizard Convention sometimes people just eavesdrop and throw in suggestions
A corn
and
dog.
either stick around or don't.
A corn dog
Yeah.
is like kind of yellow on the outside.
A foil wrapped coin. Those nasty
Oh.
chocolate coins.
Ah, a
Gold on the
chocolate
outside.
coin,
Now we need
perfect.
3 pounds and we need to freeze them. And
What's
then
the
I
opposite
gotta.
of 3 pounds? Sorry, I'm not here.
Truly, I did think about that and I was like, I can't. So yeah, I think he has arrived at like maybe that's part of magic is it has to be kind of logical to you and like sort of pass a smell test with other people. But if you're the one doing it and you're like, no, this tracks. This is 100% like it's opposite in this way. It's opposite in this way. We're good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do I need to do anything like I was looking at deep pockets to get the stuff.
No.
I think I said I've got.
It is expected that if you have the spell, you can cast the spell. We don't need to get too complicated with the mechanics of that. You decided that it's golden coins. You can find whatever, a bucket
Like
full of those.
specifically nasty, like
Right?
like
Yeah.
comic
The
book
really
girls,
waxy chocolate. Yeah.
Oh, so tragic.
And they do the opposite of burning it, I guess. I don't know.
Mhm.
Freezing it,
That's what I'm thinking.
melt it, and then freeze it into a giant something. Anyways, yeah, that sounds like a spell that you're about to cast. So now we are casting a spell. So the first time you cast a spell, say what it does based on its name. I think we've established that. We're going to summon the Shadow Moon and attract ourselves to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do now have the option, because you are the muscle wizard. If you can figure out how you're gonna do this as part of a punch, you can always cast Fist to roll with advantage with slightly more risk attached to it, or
Yeah.
you can just cast it as normal, which would be roll 2d6 plus modifier, which in this case is one of your +1 spells.
Okay. I like the idea of casting Fist.
Okay.
So here's how it looks. We
Yeah.
we find in this, presumably we're in a hotel or convention center, but we find a spot in the kitchen. We like melt because I like that idea of melting the coins. So 3 pounds I think melts down into a pretty solidly sized
Yeah.
circle that we can like freeze.
Oh, so
in
you're gonna turn
the
into like a giant coin?
Yep. And
Okay.
then we have to like lay the gold back on top, the gold foil. Then we stand on it, and then he's like, as long as you've got a foot on it, we're fine. And then he like does kind of like a superhero punch and kneel, like.
Yeah.
And I think what it'll do is it'll like kind of like get the coin launching. It doesn't make sense that punching down into it would
Magic.
propel you away from it. Maybe it's like a donut. Maybe we've done like a Chinese style coin with a hole in the middle. Anyway, punch the ground, fly up, and that lets the moon grab you.
Well, we'll see.
Yep.
So yeah, you can. You're already on it.
3d6 plus 3.
No, this is your +1 spell, right? So roll 3d6. If you do roll 3d6 K2, it'll just keep 2 of them, the two highest, and then +1.
Oh,
3d6 K2 +1.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I entered it. You saw me typing. I'm just gonna refresh and try again.
Yeah, I saw you typing. I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna do the test roll just to make sure I'm right. I might have the syntax wrong. No, okay, yeah. Maybe I didn't say it clearly enough.
Is it? It's not an exclamation point.
No, it's /R.
Yep, I did it like a Discord bot, so that's
Yes,
my
that would explain that.
there. 3d6.
I wish I could give you my roll.
Oh man.
But unfortunately, in the name of being mean, I will say I cannot.
All right, it makes sense. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't want it. I want to see what I get.
Hey, you did it. No sweat. So yeah, you cast a spell exactly as intended. So we've got the basic description. You've punched down in the center of this circle, this hollow open circle, donut circle of chocolate that everybody has a foot on. Great. And what does it look like when you cast Shadow Moon Attraction?
So I think what makes it a shadow moon is its existence on a slightly different plane or dimension or something. So I think that's part of what lets the translation in space doesn't, like, you're not running through walls, you're not like smashing into this thing and that thing. There's like dimension nonsense. So I think we sort of like blur a little bit, and like this moon kind of looms and looms, and then we get further and further away, and we like find ourselves on the top of whichever building.
Yes. So you make it up to the top. We've all seen the rooftops of skyscrapers in movies. There's random big fans and vents and things scattered about. So you end up, you rolled so well, so of course you're gonna show up behind some big things that are gonna obscure your arrival from whomever is up there. But yes, there is the strong smell, very strong stench of burning ginger, acrid in the air. The smoke is much clearer now, and you hear the sound of someone chanting. And as you sort of inch closer, peek around, trying to make sure that you're staying out of view, you see a person of they look like they're in their mid-30s, average height, lean build. They have short, straight white hair, and they seem to be casting this spell. And this person's name, which you may or may not know. This is a WizCon. Maybe this is a person you've ran into. Maybe not. You can decide for themselves. This wizard's name is Valentine Lycan. And they're just doing this thing.
Of course, it's Valentine.
So sad, so desperate.
I think upon seeing
So
them,
if you know Valentine, then you would know that they're you would immediately put together then, if you know this person, that this is probably not. They are not the one behind this. They are are a lifelong lackey.
Oh.
So either A, they're doing this at the behest of someone else, or B, maybe Valentine is stepping out and trying to make a name for themselves, but probably not.
I think upon seeing them, Elsinore plays like a little sort of fanfare, but in a minor key on the guitar, and is like, "Stop right there."
So they're not done, right? So they're gonna keep chanting and moving their hands and whatever, and being at least somewhat attentive to the spell, but they're also going to look at you while they're doing this. And in between magical words, they're going to slip in the words, "Why are you here? Go away."
Your library book is due.
Blinks at you, befuddled. It has gone clean over their head. The implication. I mean, they're concentrating very hard on doing this spell, and also now they're stressing out because you three have shown up, so you know. It was a good one-liner, but maybe on the wrong person.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 0 in what is it, robe? So
That's true. That's also true. They're just going to continue casting, but now as they move around the circle, they always have at least one eye on all y'all.
Do they have any extra or just the two?
Oh, for now, just the two. Wizards, who could say?
I think Elsinore's gonna cast Concert of Glue Confusion.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah.
So,
regale me with the tale of the Concert of Glue Confusion.
I was going to suggest demand wrestling ritual, but yeah, that's good too.
I feel like wrestling ritual should be saved for the big bad wizard,
Agree.
This is just a lackey. We've got some glue to use. So Elsinore sort of stands legs apart a bit. And the way they cast their spells, I've basically made a wizard bard. This is fine.
Yes. Kitar, you figured it out. Yeah.
They play a little ditty on their guitar and say, the perfectionist in me is I need to make a rhyme. I don't. By the power of glue, stop what you do. And
Yep.
Nice.
I think how would glue materialize? Maybe a little cloud appears above them and rains glue down. And I'm thinking the
Can I give one other possible idea?
Yeah, sure.
like confetti cannons or like pyrotechnics at
Okay,
a
yes, that's
concert.
incredible.
Something sort of like that.
Yeah.
Just like
Glue fatty.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm picturing the glue like the glue gunners in the Balloons Tower Defense games. If that means anything.
Big old question mark over my head right
That's
now.
okay.
But, you know,
It is just glue.
yes, it is
Like
glue.
PVA
I can
glue
imagine
or
what's shooting
something.
glue. So globules then, is that what that would be?
Yeah.
All right, play that concert. I guess casts a spell, 2d6 plus 1 in this case for the concert of blue confusion.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I nudge Sivritus, and I'm like, oh, I love this song.
Hey.
Boom! Oh my goodness,
holy shit.
rolling well today so far. Good rolls. Can't kill any of you. That's fine. Yeah. So we're saying that confetti cannons. How big is the barrage of glue? This is a concert after all, right? It's not just like a small set.
Yeah, I think
a basement bar. This is a concert.
I think the concert aspect of it is one, Elsinor's casting it by like playing some music, and two, it's like confetti cannons, which is very concert-esque, and maybe like a bit of like smoke or something as well. But it's probably quite a big area.
Yeah, I mean it must be.
Yeah. And I think
So
the confusion
as the
aspect
cannons
is just
fire off, you
you
see. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the confusion aspect is more just that it's a weird spell.
Sure. Yeah, that's.
I'm
fine,
sure it
that
would be
tracks.
confusing for anyone to be suddenly
Uh-huh.
rained upon by
I mean,
glue
also
from
if it's just like a
confetti
large
cannons.
volume, right? Then it's kind of coming from a lot of places. It's hard to.
Yeah.
It's easy to dodge a thing that's coming right at you. It's more confusing when it's coming at you from all sides. So the glue barrage fires off, and we get a quick zoom in on Valentine's eyes as they go from their regular human-looking eyes to a more animalistic-looking eye, let's say. And from their body erupts forth a whole pack of white-haired humanoid wolves, werewolf-looking things. If you're paying close attention, as it occurs, as each wolf emerges, the Valentine's straight, short, white hair gets shorter with each wolf, and they just jump into the glue, creating this barrier of bodies until finally there's just a ring around this ritual space now of a bunch of glued, matted wolf people stuck together, struggling against the glue, but they're all locked in tight. It's now a ring of fangs and teeth and gross hair tangled up. But you can see that Valentine's hair, as it grew shorter with each erupting wolf, is now completely gone, and they appear entirely bald, and are clearly sweating with the strain of performing this feat while trying to maintain the ritual as well.
Aha! Arise, smashing troop.
Oh God.
I don't know where I'm gonna get some skeletons from, but it's time to make some skeletons arise.
I mean, do they have to be made of bone, or can they be made of like, aerial like antennas and stuff?
Anything can arise, truly.
Yeah.
Like concrete.
They always take whenever I cast
stuff.
this spell, though, it always takes the form of skeletons, regardless of the material they're made of. Yeah, I'm gonna make some like weird concrete skeletons out of the top of this building.
Yeah, for sure.
That
sounds fun and good.
So that's my.
So yeah, cast a spell 2d6 plus 3, I suppose, unless you had.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you do.
That's a 10.
God. That is a 10. Can't get you to even mess up slightly. So yes. And so what is the approach here as these concrete skeletons sort of peel themselves out of the rooftop around you? I'm assuming that these are like the actual materials, right? It's not just they take on the aspect of the space you're in, but actually the ground is ripping up and they're now these
Yeah.
giant holes in the roof. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're arising, so they gotta arise from
That's fair.
somewhere.
Can't argue with that logic.
Yeah, and the like weird concrete and metal skeletons that are being arisen from the top of the skyscraper then start to march towards this wall of glue wolves and start to pull it apart.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, what cares a concrete skeleton about a little bit of glue? Not much. So the skeletons do slowly become a bit of a tacky mess as some of the glue does rub off onto them. There's these now you see on the we're talking about classic skeletons, right? Rib cage and all that sort of
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah, there's like just like strands of glue dripping down their rib cages and all that. But they're still able to force their way through. You realize that as you're doing this, one by one, the werewolves in your way are also sort of disapparating, as the force of all that's going on seems to be undoing the spell that Valentine just cast, and the skeletons are finally able to break through, and Valentine is casting their eyes around, panicked, trying to figure out anything else they can do, but it's clear that they are out of gas magically, and they are completely vulnerable to you now as the skeletons burst into the center of the ritual. And what are they going to do? Are they going to finish the job, or is one of you going to do it in a more personal way and just sort of make this dweeb knock it off?
I want to do something non-magical.
Of course you can.
And just like use my staff for its intended purpose of like, batter up. It's like,
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah.
doing non-magic stuff. You can go ahead and roll a 2d6 plus 2.
okay. I hope the macro works. Nope. Okay.
Hmm.
I guess shall we just say that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's not attached. If it's on the macro in this sheet is not attached to the nonsense on the table, you would need to change staff to 2 on the left-hand side under attributes.
I was
Yeah.
trying and couldn't.
Oh, weird.
Oh, not in the character. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
I am curious what happens if I do it for real, because I would. Okay, well, mixed or full.
Yeah.
So,
Now we'll go with the first roll. Of course, we will respect that 11, as it were. More successes, very successful. Bunch of wizards you are. Is this a whack to stun or a whack to incapacitate?
I mean, if we know that they're a lackey, like a
Mhm.
professional lackey, then we want to question.
For
And
sure.
I think that Bert knows that. So this is, I think with a full success, I would like to just kind of like wade through things, swinging, kind of like alongside the skeletons until I get to Valentine, and just give him a good whack. Or no, like sweep their legs and then
Oh yeah,
and then like have the bar, the staff, poised. Be like, you want another? You want another?
Yeah.
And
So-
he's kind of like doing the heavy breathing, like muscles. Like I'm exerted.
Oh yeah.
I'm amped. Amped. That's the word.
Look at my vascularity. Behold and weep, ye mortal. Yeah. So you sweep the leg with the staff. Valentine, they fall onto their back, falling partially into the remaining puddle of glue, sort of adhering their arms in place, and they're just sort of stuck there now, futilely struggling against the glue. You have your staff pointed at whichever part of the body you like to point at in a threatening way, And finally, after a brief moment of trying to get themselves free, they relent. And they say, "You're too late, Cybertus. The mistress's plan will see fruition."
I'm happy for anyone else to step up and be more compelling than
Sure.
than Bert.
I'm extremely awkward, so I don't know if it's me.
I mean, it's probably Elsinore is the only one with points in robe.
Yeah, you're the talky one, I guess.
Um,
I mean, or the successfully talky one. Anybody can talk with a 0.
yeah.
Just, doesn't always go your way.
Valentine.
So what does Elsinore say? Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you don't have to, but you're welcome.
No, yeah, I'm happy to. Valentine, who are you working for this time?
my most noble mistress, Aeryn.
Why a dragon, though?
Mixolydian, I should have known those skeletons were your doing. Why a dragon? We're wizards. Why would it be anything else?
Well, the dragon is a noble beast with thoughts and a life, and when you're shackling it to your power, you know they hold grudges. And when the dragons rise and take over the world, they'll kill all the people that summoned and imprisoned them first.
But there is none more glorious than my mistress. The dragon will be sure to recognize her true nobility.
Where would we find her?
The mistress is far more clever than you would think. She didn't tell me where she's going next.
Probably smart, since you just told us her name anyway.
That's like a pretty brutal self-burn, dude.
No, it's not.
I'm way too unimportant. There's no way she'd ever tell me. All right.
They're clearly rethinking the whole situation.
Haha, you're really bullying this nerd.
Well, I think Bert does like look over to the other two, and say, "Shall we, with a name, we can find someone. Probably, I'm guessing.
Names are power.
Precisely." I'm wondering if I have a pill of movie revenge to like have a lackey turn on, but they've already like turned on her.
Well, maybe if like they have something of hers on them, my leaf dogs could like sniff her out.
I really like that.
I'm just trying to think how we'd find out if they have anything of hers or something.
You could always do non-magic stuff and try to convince them with your social graces.
This is true.
Or, threaten them with more bodily harm. I don't know.
Or, honestly, a pill of movie revenge. I could see somebody starting to like do. No, that's more of a villain monologue, and like they would pull something out and be like, "I've taken this token," but that's a little bit. No, I like the convince or trick. I mean, just kind of like word word trick Valentine out of something else useful.
Yeah. I think Elsinore says, was it you who took the book from... I've forgotten the name.
Jorit.
Jorit. No, weren't me. I've just had to come up here, burn the ginger, say the words.
I have an idea.
Yes.
What if we turned them into a dragon? And then had them go back to their mistress and be like, here's the dragon we summoned.
Illusions? Or
know.
Progressive evolution.
Yep.
I will say that you would understand at least that this was this is only part of the spell. There's more stuff that also needs to happen. But
Okay.
so just fiction first, it would be maybe a little hard to believe that the spell. I mean, I guess you could always try to make that argument. The spell went even better than you thought it would, mistress. Already done it is.
Yeah, I think they say, has your mistress seen the book then?
Of course. She is the one who has given all of us our instructions.
Okay.
How many, all of you?
Well, I know of at least 6 others.
So there just does like a big dramatic kind of,
And are they doing
arms.
other things for this spell as we speak?
Probably.
So which way do we think we want to go? More like the leaf dog track to the source, or something with the gene and try to trick?
Is the book here with Valentine?
No, they just were given. If you were to really quickly pat around their person, you would find a small, scrawled out page, one page of this section of the spell that Valentine was in charge of. Again, they only know the part that they were responsible for.
Yeah, I think...
I have 2 ideas.
Oh yeah, you go.
Well, I have 2 ideas. One is that the leaf dogs are magic dogs, so maybe they can sniff out, I don't know, like the signature that reading something, like reading a book, leaves on you. So if the what's her name, Adverian, if she is the one that copied out this spell, then we could they could track that way by like someone who has recently read these words.
I'll do you one better, just for the sake of the narrative. If you were to take this scrawled out note and were to give it a slight whiff, you would scent the slightest hint of a perfume, something that smells very expensive.
That's what I was
The
thinking.
other idea was maybe the ginger was at the central place, and that was the other idea. But I love this perfume.
Yeah, I think Elsinore like takes the scroll and summons a leaf dog army. Which
get us those leaf dogs, those dogs from the hidden leaf. No copyright.
Yep.
Parody.
Oh, I found a great picture of some leaf dogs.
Yeah, okay. Yes, please. Sock it to me.
But I think how the spell is cast is they like play another little song on their guitar, probably something nice and upbeat, and dogs like leap out of the keys and then like grow and materialize with like some leaves swirling around. And this is the leaf
I
dogs
love them.
because I googled leaf dogs and this image is just so good.
Puppies.
Who is that? I can't quite read it. Flew
It
away.
was from Reddit.
It's in the bottom corner. Just the
Yeah.
resolution is a little hard. And it's a very
Luwe
goofy font.
photography.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I can reverse
maybe it's
Google
not
image search it.
Oh, right, I'm gonna give up. I can't. That's hard to tell.
So they're all wearing leaf hats, or are they more leafy than these dogs? Which I think are these Irish Wolfhounds? No.
I reverse Google image searched it, and there are like hundreds. So
Well.
let's roll that, I guess.
Yes, let's cast a spell. 2d6 plus 1.
Yeah.
For Leaf Dog Army.
Whew.
You guys can't. It's all
Heck
okay.
yeah.
This is not even a mixed success. That's, sometimes it was just meant to be. I guess you did start with that 13, so that did really set the tone for the session. You summon your Leaf Dog Army. Good pups all.
I think there's like 6 of them. I think 6 counts as an army.
Yeah.
Or maybe
sure.
there's like 6 big ones and then a couple more like half the size of them. Just some good leaf dogs. And I like hold out the scroll for them to sniff.
And they sniff up that scroll. They get the scent, and then as a unit they all just dash for the edge of the building and jump over the side. And as they do, they burst into a shower of leaves, and away they go. And after the break, we'll find out where these leaf dogs have led you. So more Wizards with Words in about 10 minutes. Be right back, y'all.
recording. Now recording. Now recording. Now recording. Now recording. Now recording.
All right, and welcome back once again to the third anniversary Roll Plus Bond 72-hour live stream in support of Black and Pink. Again, for more information on them and this whole deal, you can go to donate.rollplusbond.com or just type !donate into the chat. When we last left our Wizards with Words, They had just ceaselessly successfully put the hurt on one Valentine Lacan, and with the casting of the Leaf Dog Army spell, are now hot on the trail of the mysterious Mistress Adverian, who appears to be the ringleader of this whole dragon god summoning debacle that is currently unfolding before you. We can sort of, in a wizardly way, I suppose. Well, I guess I'll give you the sort of narrative freedom here to tell me exactly how this transpires. But when last we left, the leaf dogs that you summoned had leapt off the top of the tallest building in the city that you were on, again turning into a cloud of leaves as they drifted safely to the ground to continue on their hunt for this scent of perfume that you got. How do you all keep pace? And this doesn't need to be a mechanical thing. This can just be a narrative thing.
Do they drop any leaves as like breadcrumbs kind of thing?
Ooh,
Ooh,
I like that.
that's fun.
No need to hurry then.
I mean,
Yes, that's true. Something the dragon god. Less need to hurry. Not hurry quite as hard.
don't
I-
have to keep them in sight.
Yeah, don't need to be dog fast, leaf dog fast, to do it. Um.
What if I gave
Yeah.
us all dragon wings?
Oh boy, that.
Yes,
Oh,
any kind of wings would.
I mean,
would
if we
be-
wanted to just cast a spell, and then just have that be a thing that is true for the rest of this little adventure. Do y'all want to have
Seemed on
dragon wings?
brand.
never know when you need wings.
That'd be so good.
I mean, it sounds like some people are going to progressively evolve, I guess.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, so cast that spell.
Yeah, I think I like snap,
hmm
and that makes your cells remember the idea of dragon DNA, and you start to evolve.
Love to remember the idea of dragon DNA. You know?
Except it didn't roll that great.
But yes, this is perfect.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, we gotta start somewhere. Well, on a 7, for when you cast a spell, you still do it. The
Okay.
spell still will work, but you do have to suffer a complication of your choice. You can either
Okay.
choose to lose your grip on the spell, which will reduce its modifier by 1 for the remainder of the adventure, or you can choose to suffer harm in a different way, which will make you lose 1 point in either hat, robe, or staff, but that will be the GM's choice.
Mm. Okay, I guess I'll downgrade my progressive evolution.
Sure.
I mean, dragons are kind of like dinosaurs, so we're kind of like de-evolving, I guess,
Yeah.
or like going backwards and then forwards.
Oh, I've seen that Star Trek episode.
It's not necessarily progressive.
Love me some
That's that
convergent
one's a
evolution.
weird one. That next generation episode.
It's very gross.
So yes, you feel the spell slip away from you slightly. Something about taking on that dragon DNA has made it weaker in your mind, but at a 0 modifier, you can still cast it in the future if you need to. Just it's a little bit harder to make it go off the way you want it to. And yeah, everybody grows dragon wings, I suppose. Tell me what each of your dragon wings look like. What is the ancient genetic memory of dragon wings that resides within your body?
Curiously, mine are like bone wings.
I mean, yeah, very on brand, I guess. Do they just look like completely bare bones, or is there like a gossamer thing going between the bones?
Yeah, there's like a weird leathery situation.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
Hmm. I'm thinking
What
they're like.
do buff wings look like? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm wondering, are they actually buff, or are they kind of like a little bit comically small?
Oh,
Um,
so it's
or-
just Yeah.
Yeah, like people love to say like, oh, it's impossible. The bumblebees should be able to fly because their wings and their bodies and their ratio, blah blah blah.
I
But
mean, you're so strong. Is it just so you can just flap those tiny wings super fast, right? With that muscle power, huh? Is that?
probably,
Yeah.
I think so.
Like a hummingbird.
Yeah, you're the
Exactly.
hummingbird of dragons.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
except still a buff wizard man.
yeah, the
Just
buff wizard, hummingbird, dragon, person. Great. Okay, and Elsinore, your wings? What
Yeah.
does a superstar's wings look like?
Well, so Elsinore's like sort of. So they've got like the sort of Indian men's formal wear, and I was thinking like a sort of a lot of the like Hindu dragon statues and things. Specifically, I've seen a few when I was in Indonesia that are sort of like very colorful, feathery sort of wings.
Yeah.
I'll pop this image of a statue I found. That's not going to open the image. That one will.
Exquisite indeed.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we are now we winged 3. That's now, I suppose. So just know that now you can fly places. So that's just true of what you can do in the future.
Crazy.
That's a great spell.
Oh, I fell out of the roll 20. Oh, there you are.
It
I
just
do that all
happens
the
when
fucking time.
it happens when I go to any other tab or screen.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure we hadn't lost you entirely. Thank goodness.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So then, be winged now. You're able to fly and follow the trail of leaves. And I guess since you have flight, you don't even it doesn't even need to be a trail on the ground, I guess. So the trail, yeah, and it takes you through the sky, because it's more fun this way, and it takes you to the roof of another building. Or not the roof, sorry, the penthouse balcony of whatever the swankiest hotel in town may be. And you see materializing from the cloud of leaves are your 6 leaf dogs, this very small army. And they're all now just sort of pawing at the sliding glass door of this balcony. As you peer inside, there doesn't appear to be anybody there currently, but you can only see what's on the other side of the balcony, and this is the penthouse suite, so there are several rooms here. There could be people off into one of the sides somewhere. Hard to tell for sure. But this is clearly a room that is being inhabited by somebody who seems to have brought quite a bit of luggage with them. You see several extremely fine dresses laid out across the bed. There's even a couple mannequins with various cosplay costumes on them. And so you're here now.
Amazing.
I guess the Leaf Dog Army do they linger now that they have basically got you to where you wanted to be, or do they?
I think they probably just sort of like fizzle into leaves and blow away in the wind.
Sure, yeah. Thank you, pups. Who's a good boys? It's you.
I imagine we like alight pretty quietly on the patio. If it's a good penthouse, I'm hoping for our sake it has great soundproofing. So I think the bear just like starts out doing kind of like tactical hand stuff, and then is like, you know what? I don't actually know any of these, and just starts whispering like, we should check and see if there's any wards around the doors. I got some acid, and he like wiggles his fingers, but he's like, I don't want to set off any alarms.
What are you gonna do with the acid? I say kind of loudly.
I forgot that thing about Mixolydian. I don't know. It's quieter than breaking glass.
I've heard some loud acids.
I have the trick of managing it, though. So I hope, I'm pretty sure that would be entailed. However, I don't... is anybody getting, like, vibes off of this place? And I can also... I'm guessing this might be hat. Just sort of general wizardly analysis of situation, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right. Using that keen brain to, I mean, if there's a particular magical ward that you can detect by flexing at it hard, I could hear the argument for staff, but probably hat.
Yeah, I think it's got to be hat. So, he's like peering around, and maybe like the tactical hand signs kind of come back, but more like standard wizard magic hands. Oh my god. 12.
Yeah, I mean it is that's the game we're playing apparently. Yeah, so
Hey, you told me that it was all up to me on my first roll, and then I rolled really good. So
yeah, I know.
Wizards
and
with words and
I was just trying to
wins.
make a funny, but now I've been hoisted by my funnies apparently. Which is fine, which is good. This is a good fun time. Love to succeed. It's totally not my goal to cause you misery and pain. That's fine. So yeah, it's you search around for awards, and you don't detect any awards. Nothing. Doesn't seem to be anything that's an alarm or anything that is protecting the door from breaching or anything like that. Nothing that's increasing its durability or that's going to hurt you if you try to get inside. The door is locked, but that's just a regular mundane lock. What you do detect, however, is there is a privacy ward that's been placed over the windows and the doors. So nothing that's stopping you from getting in, but what you see through the window may not be what's on the other side of it.
Ah. Okay. All right. Well, he's gonna relay that. Of course, no point in keeping it secret from my great team.
Hey, buds.
Yeah. My non-binary bros. I mean, I still have the idea of acid, but I don't know if we have another smarter idea first.
No bad ideas.
the trick is all in managing it.
Mm-hmm. I can start with a very small hole, just a peek.
that you would have to be very good at managing it well to do such a small hole with acid. Corrosive it may be.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the acid plan.
All right.
I have a
Sounds
curse
like-
suggestion.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a degree in chemistry. I know this is not how it works, but I love the idea of Subertus using like protein shaker things.
Oh my goodness.
Like he's making a shake for games.
Like with the powders and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny. I mean, like I said, I've got 2 bags of
Two
stuff.
bags. Don't
And-
reach into the wrong one, I guess.
I guess. You know what? The roll will determine if he
The dice
got
will
any
tell,
wrong
yes,
bags.
indeed.
Yeah. No, that's a beautiful idea. So, yeah, he like gets out one of those, those like plastic cups that has a screw-on lid. Oftentimes my mother has one of these. It's like a little blender, and then you can screw a top on and take your
Yeah.
nasty vegetable smoothie anywhere you want, your green shake. And so I think it's one of those, but he doesn't have to blend it. He just can do it like I'm shaking my hands like a cocktail shaker. That's the word. Um, like mixes up a little thing. Yeah, many powders are pulled from the thing, and we'll see if he has the trick of managing acid. It's not an
Yeah.
exclamation; it's a slash. I'm not going to punch as much as I would like to.
You're not gonna punch a tiny hole with using acid.
Oh man,
that's
that'd be
fair.
so funny. Just like a pinky punch. I think it's got to be a fist though. You can't just punch with a pinky. This is one of my plus ones.
Yes. All right. So another mixed success. The spell works, but again, you'll have to choose to either A, lose your grip on the spell, reduce your spell's modifier by 1, or suffer harm in some other way to hat, robe, or staff, which again will be my choice.
I would like to give you the choice of what I lose, and then I would like to ask you to do it on my sheet.
Yes, I will do both of those things. um, so what I will do then is, yeah. So first, you tell me what what looks like as you do this spell successfully.
Oh, it's a very dumb idea, but maybe it works.
Mm-hmm.
So he uh he sticks a straw in the thing, and
Okay.
like you know how you can trap some liquid in a straw
Mm-hmm. Yes.
with your thumb, but
Yes.
so I think what he does is he kind of sucks it up a little higher and then traps it and then like puts the straw on the glass, uh, and like drops a little drop in, like using his thumb as the uh, as the pressure release.
Yes.
Oh,
Um,
that's
but
pretty smart.
well, he first, the part that's not smart, and maybe this will give you the idea what to do. He did like suck up some.
Hmm.
He didn't just stick the straw in and trap it with his thumb. He was like, I need a little bit more in here. So
Uh,
might
um.
have a little acid mouth, but
Yeah. So yes, going off of that, great acid mouth, love it. Yes, you suck it up into your mouth, and indeed, as suggested, it's just a little bit too much of a suck, and so you get a little bit of acid in your mouth, and panic, you spit it out, but it's such a intense, scary situation. Acid mouth, nobody wants that. So
uh-uh.
instead of getting a real successful spit, it's more like a dribble, as it sort of just falls out of your mouth and then onto your robe and starts to eat away at the fabric. Um, so you're going to take -1 to your robe now, as you look.
Oof.
Now people think you're doing this like weird Wizard Hulk cosplay thing or something. They're not sure what's going on with it. It seems like very low effort on your part, honestly. Um,
Beautiful.
and so they're just not going to take you seriously anymore. And so when a stat reaches -1, that stat becomes weakened, so you can no longer do non-magic stuff with your robe stat in the future.
Uh-oh.
So this hole that you're making. So was it a hole in the glass to give you access to the room, or was it just to peek through and see past the privacy charm?
First, do a peek. It was
Okay.
intended to peek.
Yeah. So um, you are able to peek through the hole, and uh, it occurs to you now that this must be a double layered hex. There's a privacy hex on their end so that you can't see what's on what was really on the inside before, and you realize that this must be also there must be something happening from the inside also that makes it so that people inside are not seeing the regular city skyline, and instead something else must be on these windows, because there's a bustle of activity, as there's a number of what look like some sort of wait staff, butlers, maids, that sort of deal, just sort of bustling around the room, trying to uh, and then they seem to be sort of a flurry of action around a central figure. But there's so much going on there that it's hard to tell who they are. But you could probably spare a guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. So it looks like preparations for some kind of party.
Or something.
Is that-
It's a lot of fussing, a lot of people fussing around somebody. Yes, getting them ready for something.
Okay. So Bert is like, something going on. They're pretty busy. We might want to go in through a different door. Or, and he shrugs, we just make a really big entrance right here. And he like spins his staff. He's like, I'm ready for either.
I can always arise, my smashing troops.
Always be smashing.
How many people are in there?
You would guess probably about a dozen or so. Again, it's a lot of people moving around, and you have a very tiny hole to look through, so
Yeah.
it's hard to keep track exactly of who's who. But if best guess, I would say you would say a dozen. I think.
I mean, we could just go in guns blazing, or the wizard equivalent.
Wands blazing, staves blazing.
Honestly, like that's kind of all Bert needs to hear. So unless
Okay.
anyone's really opposed to it, like he will smash. Like there's a little bit of acid left. There's a, you know.
We're going in 420 blazing.
Yes.
All right, manage that acid.
All right. Oh, I would like to make it
Yeah,
a punch this time.
That sounds about right.
So, if it makes sense to you, I think I would like to use like the rest of what's in the cup and like fling it at the glass and then just punch.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, excellent. So it was 3d6
3d6k2
2
plus 1 for your trick. Oh, just shy of 1. Okay, so you do cast it, but unfortunately, because you took the little bonus there, you are going to have to suffer a little bit more. So this will be taking away 1 point of staff, and then you also still have to choose one of the other penalties, either losing a point of a stat that I choose, or you lose your grip on the spell and reduce its modifier by 1.
I think I lose my grip on the trick of managing acid.
Yeah, I mean you did just spend all that acid, so you probably don't have much left anyways.
Yeah, all my components are out. But I do love the -1 staff because number one, I just punched glass.
You
Number
just punched
two,
glass and you punched acid, yes.
in acid. Yes.
So I mean, choices were made. It's that's fine. That hand probably looks a little gnarly. Maybe maybe later can be favorable healing time. Who could say? But yeah. So what does it look like then? The spell does work. So what is the desired effect of you punching this acidic glass?
A lot of it flies into the room, I think, and like stuns a lot of people, and like we're prepared. Like we're coming in ready for a fight. They're not. So we could maybe take advantage of the fact that like we will not be stepping on the glass as much or at all, but it's going to be kind of like rough terrain.
Yeah.
For the other people, maybe it hits a few people, like either gets them scared and running, so the numbers have decreased, or like cuts some and makes them like weakened as we start to fight.
All right, yeah, for sure. So glass flies into the room. There are several startled shouts and screams. But also, you are doing this to this is a wizard con, so the eldritch energy in the air, you can definitely feel that the barometric eldritch pressure rising as people are getting ready for something or some action that is starting to occur. And as you step into the room confidently, ready to throw down, It seems like some of the people that are doing the help here are maybe just mundane folk without any magical ability, but several of them do seem like they also are wizardly to some certain degree and are maybe ready to throw down with you. And the way they react to what's going on, and maybe the way some of them are starting to glow. And as sort of they get ready to square off against you and all part around the person they've been fussing over, you finally see the lady, the mistress, Lady Philidren Tithiel Advirian. Just she looks the way that people that have a lot of money can afford to look. Clearly somebody who has lived a life of wealth and luxury, who has the sort of look of someone who feels that everybody they behold is beneath them. And you can see now that they were getting her prepared in a immaculate, probably exorbitantly expensive cosplay of Daenerys Targaryen. And she just sort of stands and looks at you and narrows her eyes. Do you know who I am? And her eyes start to glow purple as well.
Just confident no.
I have a guess because Valentine gave you up immediately. But otherwise, I can't. Are you the woman from that Time movie? She traveled back in time?
No, she was in Solo.
I do not care for Star Wars. So it says.
Great. Good. She is clearly completely. There's a sort of a sort of reaction that this is clearly a person that is used to people being extreme. People are bow and scrape when she's around normally. So the fact that you are doing nothing close to that has her at least a little off kilter. But the people around her, the ones that seem to be ready to throw down with you, are not so much paying attention to the words that you're saying and more paying attention to whatever you might be planning to do next as they get ready to maybe hurl some magic your way as well.
Will I arise, smashing troop, then?
Oh, great. Look out, here's a skeleton made out of a Shaylong.
They're going to be made out of upholstery.
Yeah.
Good.
My duvet is a skeleton now. Oh, I don't know if that's smashing. More cuddling troop, but, the spell says smashing. It is what it is.
I want to beat all these people's asses with, pillow skeletons.
Let me know
Pillow fight.
when we're ready for a wrestling ritual.
That's an 8.
That is an 8. So, as before, the choice is lose your grip on the spell, take a -1 to the mod, or take harm in some way to one of your stats. My choice, dealer's choice.
I'll -1 on this.
On a stat. Okay, so
It's really hard to make a upholstery skeleton.
Upholstery do smash. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The A to B to C there is a little confusing for sure. So what do these smashing troops do? Is it just what it says on the tin? They start pummeling everybody.
Yeah, I think I'm mainly going for the non-magic users, the normies. Just beat them up with pillows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure, the people that were more scared than threatening when you came in. Yeah, that's you can certainly do that. But yeah, I do think that the effort of trying to turn a very comfy, soft, squishy, malleable material into something that could smash properly does force you to push a little bit more of yourself into the spell mentally. And so this is going to leave you a little bit drained. Your hat is going to go down to +2 for the remainder of the adventure as you work hard to smash. Oh, sorry. Oh, you said the spell.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I misheard you. Never mind. None of what I just said is true.
No, well, The
arcane
spell
energy.
is so much harder to do
Right.
when you're
Yes.
like
So the
working
spell
with non.
itself. Yes. Uh,
Though there is one really sturdy one that I made out of a throw pillow.
Because it's a throw pillow.
yeah. Oh yes.
And also those
okay,
things
yes.
are like fucking rocks.
Yeah. The
That's
throw
true.
pillow just picks
Oh,
up somebody,
dear.
does a chucks them into a wall. Yeah, it's great. Meanwhile, the people that actually can do magic and are probably more of a threat, immediate threat to you, do start casting spells of their own now that they see it's clearly on. All manner of spells. Again, there's still several of them, 6 or 7 of them. So you've got fire and water and just elemental or just energy fields beginning to coalesce. There's definitely something coming through a portal somewhere that someone's trying to summon into being. Just magic is about to go off. So who else wants to do a thing?
Is it time to demand a wrestling ritual?
Probably.
You certainly can try.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what this looks like is just in the chaos, Elsinore getting into their usual stance and like... Yeah, they play like the... da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, to the final, the like riff from the final countdown. And they're just like... I demand the ritual of wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this corner. No, that's boxing.
I think I'll roll it because that's gonna depend on what it looks like. I think for this one.
Yeah. Roll, bows, dice. Oh god, that's Elsinore's music.
Yikes.
All right. You still got it. So yes, that is a
Yeah.
7. So, same thing as always. Either lose your grip on the spell, lose a stat of my choice, or because you are the superstar and can protect your brand, you can choose to lose a point in a different spell instead of your wrestling ritual because you love that spell so much.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna lose 1 point on wrestling ritual.
Wrestling ritual goes down to +2 as there's the spell, casting the spell. The effort does pull it away from you slightly. Okay, so I guess demand wrestling ritual, right? So that I assume that makes everybody in the room who's about to do stuff just stops, right?
Yeah,
Whatever
I
spell
think
they're about
it's
to
like
cast just fizzles. That's the upholstery skeletons stop beating on people.
I'm picturing very much kind of like in The Witcher with like the is it ritual of surprise? I feel like that's the wrong word.
I have not seen it.
Anyway, basically when it's like announced everyone stops and it's like this very like sort of social thing of you have to honor the ritual. And I think Elsinore, because they're not gonna fight, they don't have any
You're not gonna
stuff.
wrestle, no?
Just sort of like pat Civitas on the back and it's like, well, you're up.
And I'm assuming you are then targeting Lady Adverian.
Yes.
Yes, of course. She rolls her eyes.
So they're
She
just
is
cracks his knuckles.
she is clearly beholden to the spell, but all the same is just so annoyed by this. And one of her attendants immediately sort of automatically enters, maybe even mystically enters the role of acting like a manager, sort of fussing about her. I guess people move furniture, clear space to make a ring like
Sure.
area. Oh god, do the upholstery skeletons just form themselves into a ring somehow?
Oh,
Yeah, they
that's
can be the
great.
like mat.
Are they the mat or are they the ropes and the turnbuckles?
But if they're the
Oh.
mat, then that would work to be like how it's kind of springy.
Yeah.
They can make the whole ring. Honestly,
That's cool.
it is an art. It is a troop. A troop can make a mat and
Mhm.
turnbuckles and ropes out of upholstery. Sure, why not? And yeah, so she just sort of cricks her neck to both sides, and she did, very gracefully, one leg through the ropes, slides her body through, and then just sort of walks into the ring, and she has clearly already taken on the persona of somebody who's putting on a show, moving around, gesturing to a crowd that does not exist, or at least not in the size that her demeanor would suggest it might. But she is fully wrapped up now in this magic.
Sweet. Before he vaults over the ropes, Bert asks Elsinore, like, "Hey, Exquisite, like, what's the terms of the match? Like, winner take all, or all being the book, or just like, do I just like smash her into the ground?"
That's a good question. I think Elsinore just shrugs. Up to you, my friend.
And he vaults on in. I have a question, which may come into play later or may not.
Yes.
But maybe just to get you thinking, if I ask for someone, is there like a particularly kind of like prominent looking lackey, like somebody who could, with a pill of movie revenge, be convinced to like do some like backstabbing?
Your best guess would be the one that immediately assumed the role of wrestling manager.
Beautiful. Oh god, what if I tag him? Okay, that will. For now, I think he does it like Sybertus does the same thing. He like jumps in and he like does the 2 hands over the head, like champion, shake your fists around, kind of thing. And then like just kind of drops his stance a little bit and is in like spread arms, like solid legs. Is somebody going to do like a ding ding ding, or?
Yeah,
I do a ding ding ding. You don't know how I do it, but it happens.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I was gonna say I could do it on the guitar.
That's also good. I like to think that you're playing like the pump up music for the the whole duration.
Yep.
Okay.
Like dun, 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 dun.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure if she's gonna try to do some sneaky magic shit, but Sybertus is going full like staff, like he's doing muscle.
Yeah, for sure.
For this, so I think he like, he goes in to see if he can like, just like, just grab her, like grab her around the waist and throw her.
Yeah, so
Did
you
your
go
muscle
into a
get damaged?
clinch. She's surprised. Maybe you're not sure if this is the spell because the wrestling match needs to be a match, or if this is actually her. But there's more strength there than you might have expected. Still not enough that you feel like you're under real threat, but not as much of a wet noodle as you might have assumed she would be, compared to your massive physique. But yeah, why don't you do something non-magical and try to chuck this woman?
Did your staff get damaged?
Yeah, you burned yourself when you overexerted yourself on the acid punch when you cast fist. So
I was about to say, could I like be your like ref and then like hand you like a cup of tea and give you some favorable healing time to try to get your staff back up?
Ooh, yes, but I mean, I'll roll it as this is, because it would be kind of weird if like my first move is like I lunge and then I'm like 1 second, give me a timeout.
I'm gonna drink
Although
some
it is
tea.
very dramatic. Okay. Plus staff is just 1. Ugh, okay.
So yeah, so when you're doing non-magic stuff, 7 and 9 is a flinch, hesitate, or stall. You'll get a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. So you were just trying to just grab her and then throw her?
Yeah. Like throw her on the ground. You know what? Here's where my wrestling ignorance comes into play.
Uh-huh.
They have to be on their back on the mat, shoulders down or something, for X
Right.
number of seconds. Is that a?
Yes, for the count, whatever, the 10 count.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about wrestling.
Yeah,
Well,
it's both shoulders
that's-
on the mat for the 10, for the duration, basically.
Okay, that's what he's aiming for. If he can get her on the ground, then he can hopefully keep her on the ground. That's his theoretical next step.
Sure. So you're in the clinch, and she puts up more of a fight than you thought she would, but you still are able to overpower her. And you you slam her into the ground, and immediately, she is struggling to get out, and we get up to a count of, you already get the 9 count on the first pin, but before you can get to the 10, she just suddenly just slips out of your grasp, like she suddenly became a very slippery eel or something like that. There's some shenanigans afoot. But you had her in a hold, so you know that it was not her who did that.
Oh.
This is definitely a matter of outside interference, but she is clearly taken aback by how clearly outmatched she is. Whatever confidence she might have exhibited at the start of the fight is gone now. She is clearly on the back foot.
Okay. Awesome. I think he does like a nod. He's like, nice, cheating, but nice. And then I don't know, calls for a timeout, or maybe there's automatic timeouts in wrestling. I am also confusing it with boxing.
Yes.
Honestly.
It's wizard wrestling. It can be what we want.
That's true. That's so true.
This is wizard wrestling. There's timeouts in wizard wrestling.
But yeah, that's a good idea for the favorable healing time. So he goes and sits down in his corner and is like, oh, she's got something going on. There's some kind of cheating. Whew, feeling it.
I start giving you a back rub.
Oh, careful of the wings.
And I hand you
time for some favorable healing, yeah.
Yeah, I hand you a tea.
Nice.
It's a very pleasant herbal tea. And it's magic because I don't let anybody know my secret recipe.
Nice. I think he just sips it very delicately.
I mean, it's tea. It's hot. Don't want to burn your mouth. You already almost had acid mouth. Don't want.
Oh
hot tea
no.
mouth.
Yeah.
This will help. This will help your mouth.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, hopefully my hand too.
Just spit on your hand afterwards. It's fine.
Oh
no.
Good idea.
I need to reset roll 20.
Oh. Roll 20. Why?
I was gonna say that the people complaining about roll 20 should be on the bingo card, but that would be a free square basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free space.
9.
9. All right. Cool. So again, same thing. Lose your grip or lose a stat.
I'll lose my favorable healing time.
Sure. So so you can still cast it, but it is a little bit worse now. Sounds good. Yeah. So, but it does what it says again on the 10. So you want to bring the staff back up to 2. That sounds like a thing that favorable healing time could certainly do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess yes. How do you turn drinking tea and a back rub into your hand getting better? Does it just happen, or is there a little bit more to it than that?
I do think the spitting on my hand is very funny.
Yeah.
I mean, something when I was in Indonesia, I got a lot of like heat blisters, and I would have the tea
Ouch.
bags from my tea to put like on my fingers to help.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Also.
Yeah, honestly, that could kind of like if he's just gripping the tea bag in one of his fists, and he's like wrestling you. It's not necessarily fists, right? But for the next little minute or two, like it's going to be a fist, and when he finally drops the tea bag, good hand.
Heck
Good hand.
yeah.
And you get back into the match. Again, this is a wrestling match, so we do have to go into the clinch. And this time, she's going to before you can make a move, she makes a move on you, and she's going to cast a spell. She's going to cast a spell that's called Stunning Concrete Lock, which is she gets under you and takes you off your feet and gets you in a leg lock, and her legs turn into concrete, and hold you firmly in place. Unless, of course, you can get yourself free somehow. But she's trying to stun you with this concrete leg lock.
Oh yeah, no, I got this. I feel like Shadow Moon Attraction to kind of slingshot
Oh
myself.
Christ, that sounds yeah.
Kind of
Okay.
toward the moon and back should definitely break me out of whatever concrete.
Yeah, that sounds
nonsense.
painful. Let's do it.
Yeah. Do I want to do it as a punch like last time?
That I mean, we are wrestling, but you know.
You know what? Yeah, I want to
Punch in wrestling.
Yeah. I think I want to let the spell stand on its own, see what it can do. And so yeah, I think he like flings both hands up toward the sky and is like, so there's got to be some kind of attraction to the moon. What's the opposite of Daenerys Targaryen? Because I want to be slingshot directly back here, but I want to like rubber band away first. For force.
Yeah. I could not even. Yep.
Is it just? I mean, is it just one of Emilia Clarke's like non-fantasy or sci-fi roles?
It's your spell.
Yeah.
Chase that bliss.
Let me just get a quick.
Uh-huh.
I feel like she was in one where she was just like the rom-commiest nonsense. I don't care about what she almost played. Yeah, Me Before You. It's just like some rom-com thing. I've only ever seen the poster. Is there anybody that she's often mistaken for?
I didn't even begin to.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know enough about her. Nah. Oh,
Well,
my God. No, it's the opposite of wrestling. Is Tai Chi, I think.
Okay. Sure.
So, he like in the midst of this kind of like leg lock.
Can I give you a pitch
Yes,
for the opposite
please.
of wrestling?
Yeah.
Ballet.
So here's
If you're
the question.
feeling Tai
Is
Chi more,
the
though.
dance that's a performance the opposite of wrestling, or is the actual thing that has
True.
that has I guess they're both kind of dance. Tai Chi, you know. There's I guess it's weird. Anyways, never mind. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
I think ballet is funny, but with feet set in place, I can think of more Tai Chi arms than I can think of ballet arms, of
That's
which there are
fair.
what, like five?
Yes.
Five choices for ballet arms. If I remember my childhood classes, which I don't.
But you know.
Yeah, sorry, Adela.
Who's gonna check? No fact checking on this show. We don't know. Whatever we say is true. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he does like a big breath and kind of does the like the hands and like like focusing his mind on the moon, this weird shadow moon, and God, please. This is just +1. It's not my body or anything.
Devin, still doing it though. So again, lose your grip or lose a stat point. Your choice.
I want to lose my grip on this one.
Sure. So it goes down to a +0. Still can cast it, but it's a little harder to do it real good. So yeah. So you pull yourself away, and I guess you're slingshotting back. So what is going to be the end result of this returning slingshot of your big bod?
Like a flying elbow kind of thing, or like
oh my god,
pile driver or something. I like it with the elbow. Like that's very dramatic. Maybe that's the same thing.
Sure. Where are you catching her with the elbow?
Is it legal to get someone in the back?
I mean, legal is wizard wrestling. We can cast magic. I mean, you know.
True. It just seems like getting someone in the stomach is so brutal. So
I mean, it's when you're being magic slingshotted, I think an elbow to anywhere is pretty brutal.
Extremely good point. Yeah, I still want to do the back.
Sure. So
nice
you pull yourself away, and slingshot back. I think you're yanked with such a speed and in such an unexpected manner that she's not even sure where you went. So when you come back, you do manage to get behind her, catch her in the back, and it is, oh man. The velocity with which you hit her, you don't think you've ever been hit that hard before in your life. So you can't even imagine what taking that elbow, you know, with so much mass behind it at such a high velocity would do to any person. Like it sends her not just falling but flying into the ropes, and she springs back and just rolls all the way back across the mat and straight under the ropes on the other side. She is clearly crying at this point. And you just hear her like gasp, cry, scream, "Dad!" And then suddenly the entire room darkens, and there's a loud crack of thunder, and suddenly there is the wizardiest wizard you have ever seen in your lives. Any wizard who knows wizards would realize that this is Lord Mateus Arenas Adverian. And when it comes to being a wizard, this is not a wizard who attends cons. This is a wizard who is on the level of oversees the wizard CIA or whatever. This is a wizard whose business is being the best at putting the hurt on people. You are clearly outmatched in this situation. Fighting this person is a fool's errand.
I think Sebaris starts to kind of like back away a little bit instinctively. It's like, oh man, and he like starts to reach for his acid stuff, but he's like, no. And then he's just doing? Like, the bad
looking
guy,
menacing.
Okay.
I think
But
Elsinor's
clearly he's
music
getting ready
fades
to.
out.
Sorry, what?
I think Elsinor's music slowly fades out.
Yeah.
As they stop playing.
Yeah. The thing I said earlier about eldritch barometric pressure, you have never felt it this intense. The way it coalesces around him, you can when people cast magic, you can sometimes see the glow for certain spells, but he's not casting anything, and he is brighter than anything you've ever seen before. For those of you who have the sight to see eldritch energy in such a way.
Oh yeah.
And in a booming voice, he says, "What did you do to my pumpkin?" As the very large crystal at the end of his staff starts to glow brighter and brighter.
It looks like your pumpkin got carved in the ring.
Good.
Well, yeah.
Do you get it? Because he said pumpkin, and you carve a pumpkin on the All Hallows Eve. Anybody?
I got it. It was a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Like he offers Mixolydian like a low 5.
So now might be a good time to, I don't know, use a signature skill maybe.
I have a signature skill, but
You do.
I
feel like the moment has not escalated enough for me to self-sacrifice.
Oh, I'll attack. Because
Okay,
I was
let's
like, I
escalate.
wonder if Devin's gonna jump right in, but I could absolutely do a foolhardy thing.
Well,
Do a
I feel like I would.
foolhardy thing.
I feel like I would jump in as the spell was being cast. I would hurt my friend. I wouldn't just jump in when nothing was happening.
That's a
I
good
mean,
point.
the glowing of the crystal implies that the spell is about to get cast, but we can certainly see what Cybertus does.
Okay.
I think he does. I think he has been kind of working on the acid again.
Sure,
And like maybe he's kind of been trying to mix it behind his back, which will have something to do with the +0, perhaps.
Easy to cast spells when you don't see what you're grabbing for your reagents.
Yeah. So like he's doing like a weird awkward shake behind his back, and then he just like uncaps it and just does like a huge arc across the two the father-daughter pair in front of him. Nope, not an exclamation.
Nope.
No, this is not a punch in any sense of the word.
It's scary to punch this guy.
Yeah. And like the wrestling nature of it has kind of been suspended, so I feel like I can't just like punch someone in front of their dad.
Just elbows to the back. All right. So same thing. Do you lose your grip? Lose a stat?
If I lose my grip, this one goes out of my memory, right?
Right. You forget the spell at that point.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you're just flinging this as acid being just flung at the two of them basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the spell goes off without a hitch. The acid flies, but with one hand, you see the old wizard Mateus sort of just reaches out, and if you realize that he's casting now, he's simultaneously casting two different spells. There's the big one that's growing in the staff, and then with this other hand, he just sort of casually casts a second spell to grab one of the serving people and just pull them, levitate them telekinetically, yank them in front of the acid, and they just take the brunt of it and start, acid, ouch. And you can see that that this staff is about to explode in a solar beam level of destructive energy directly at the three of you.
I have been gathering my upholstery skeletons that are still sticking around, and we're planning to do a charge.
Beautiful.
All right.
Basically, as this guy's about to go off, we like jump on him like a fucking grenade. Me and
Okay.
all the upholstery skeletons.
And is this you firing off your signature skill here?
Yeah, my
Okay,
fly,
so
you fools.
yeah, so the signature skill for the Grey Root, Fly You Fools. Once per adventure, describe how you sacrifice yourself to allow your companions to escape any scene. You may return when dramatically appropriate with a new look. So, yes, this pile of upholstery skeletons and yourself, because you need to be close, I guess, to maintain the integrity of these skeletons that are a little bit harder to make do stuff with their upholstery-ness. Just sort of jump on him. It's like all the Smiths jumping on Neo in Matrix 2.
Except you're trying to snuff out a magic spell with
Right.
pillow people.
Yes, I mean it's basically the same thing. Like poetry, it rhymes. And there's this just huge mass, and for a moment there it's still, and then suddenly you see light start to crack through and starts burning away some of the pillow people as Elsinore and Cyberitus, I suppose you just run out the balcony and jump over the edge to fly to safety as,
Yeah.
Mixolydian takes the hit takes one for the team.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right.
I mean,
so,
we were
yeah,
told
you
to
do that.
fly.
You got that flying. You can fly. That's sick. You can do that, and you fools fly indeed away.
Did you get the book though?
Oh yeah.
That was the whole thing, wasn't it?
You can get the book. I can say one of you can totally have taken a moment. I mean, I would say Elsinore especially because you were the one who had total control of the demand wrestling ritual. I think you probably could have surreptitiously looked around for the book
Cool.
and grabbed it. If you'd like to have done that.
Yeah, sure.
So you have the book. You jump out the window, as behind you, just as you clear the lip, just a huge burst of explosive light flies out of the building. All the windows shatter behind you. Glass is raining down. You see little bits of fiery upholstery moting out in the sky as you get to relative safety. And in 10 minutes, we will find out how this adventure concludes.
Okay.
and welcome back for the final time to the Wizards with Words section of the Roll Plus Bond 3rd Anniversary 72 Hours stream. So, let's get right back into it so we can put a neat bow on this. Oh, Kai has also fallen out of Roll20 again. That's fine.
Yep, I'm still here.
So, you've flown away to safety with the book. Mixolydian, who could say what happened to them?
We mourn exactly like Lord of the Rings. Like, like, what's my dang name? How did I forget in that brief break? Sabir is just like weeping and like on the ground. Like, I didn't even know them as well as I would have wished. Just at cons, like, yeah.
But you're able to get the book back to Jared, who is so grateful to you. Doesn't even acknowledge the fact that Mixolydian is for some reason not with the two of you. Does notice the wings, but just a passing comment. And seems to, as soon as the book is back, seems to again just completely lose interest in you. Is still focused on doing con booth stuff. And so for the next, how does the next day of the con treat the two of you in the light of the recent events? You did, as far as you can tell, save the con from a dragon being messed over by a dragon god, but something happened to one of your buds who still hasn't reappeared yet, so who knows? Maybe they got put in, I don't know. Maybe they're in the hospital, maybe they're, who could say? But what is the mood between the two of you now as you try to enjoy the rest of Wizard Con as best you can?
Did we return the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also the notes, or do we still have the note?
Oh, the notes too. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you said you wanted to hang on to the notes, you could have. You did say that they would basically be disapparate within 24 hours, so that would have already happened if you chose to hang on to them, which is fine. He doesn't really super care now that he has the book back proper like.
Okay.
I think Elsinor's just sort of trudging around the con with their keytar on their back, hands in their pockets that their robes have now. Just not really sure what to do with themselves without Mixolydian with them.
Yeah, I think Sibertus has probably so if at normal cons there's often a lot of gaming rooms and tables to do pickup games. I would imagine at Wizard Con there's sort of safe duels, and Sibertus has just thrown himself into this kind of I gotta get better at wrestling in case it's ever needed again. Don't want to let people down like I did last time. And so he's just doing a lot of just bout after bout after bout of mixed magic and
mixed magic arts, MMA.
Of course.
So you're sort of this sort of grim mood is hanging over the two of you, and when at the end of day 2 of the con, suddenly the two of you are together for whatever reason at this time in the evening when Jorrit runs up to you and says, you didn't take the last pages out of the book, did you? That wasn't you?
No.
Looking between the two of you panically, and as soon as you say no, as if on cue, you hear the sound of screams from deeper into the con and a giant roar. The two of you break into a run in that direction. On the way there, you pass by a number of signs that say "cosplay contest this way."
Of course.
And finally, you burst into the large theater-like auditorium room with the stage. As people push their way past you, screaming in panic as they are on the stage, is Lady Adverian, again, done up in her Daenerys cosplay, now riding on the back of the elder dragon god, whose eyes have taken on maybe an ensorcelled glow, as if one were under some sort of, spell of compulsion.
Okay.
As you sort of get into the room, most people are running. You see a few wizards sort of jump up to sort of take the dragon god on, but it's like back to Star Wars. It's like the part in Attack of the Clones when all the chump Jedi show up to get wasted by droids in the big
Yep.
arena. So they're throwing spells, but it's they're just getting swatted, flames being breathed on them, and they're like, ah, I'm on fire, and they run away, that sort of thing. And you hear cackling from the stage. Lady at very end, she's shouting, "No one is taking the cosplay contest trophy from me this year!" And, what do you do, adventurers?
I've got an idea.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking we could maybe do some glue concerts. Concert of glue
Oh yeah,
confusion.
this is a stage,
Try to
after all.
glue up the dragon wings.
Yeah, sort of reduce that dragon mobility for sure.
Yeah. 2d6 plus 1. Okay.
You do it, but you do either lose grip on a spell or lose a stat, your choice. Or my choice if you choose a stat. Haha.
I think I'm gonna go with stat.
Okay. This is a fairly simple one. So yeah, the glue fires. But this is a big dragon. It takes a lot of glue before you're even able to start weighing it down. And so as it gets caked in this glue and is whipping around, glue just starts flying off of it. It's still building up from the cannons, but it's also now flying around the space, and you just get glued all over your robes, bring your robes down to one. As you're just looking kind of sticky and gross. It's still a very nice robe, but a little grosser than it was before. As you're sort of focusing all your effort into shooting nonstop torrents of glue at the dragon, from behind you runs up Jorad again, and he's like, "I'll lend you a hand, kid." And he starts casting paper magic, and a whole bunch of paper starts flying onto the glue. Paper mache, dragon, ah! And now the dragon's getting all gunked down by glue and paper. And it's having trouble moving.
Perfect.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly what I need. Because what Sibertus is gonna do is I was thinking about cooking the books, as I said in the Twitch chat, but I think Pill of Movie Revenge, based on the idea that Remus pitched, is spectacular. Like, this dragon, especially being mind controlled, is now in a position of doing a really spectacular turnabout if given a Pill of Movie Revenge. So how do you summon this Pill of Movie Revenge?
I do wonder if, because this is the Elder Dragon God, is this going to be a comically large pill?
It's definitely going to be comically large because it is a very big dragon.
Yes.
Just like with real world medicine, you have to calculate certain things based on the size of the person going to be taking it. Okay, all right. Here's what it is. He pulls out maybe a normal person would get a USB drive, but for this one we got to do an actual VHS case. Old school Disney VHS, those big plastic shells. And he's just pulling out of the ether kind of all the movie sudden twist revenges that he can think of. And I think he even just yells it out into the air to or into the room in hopes that it will click for someone else, and he can grab another idea out of the air. And just like literally stuffing this sort of like, I guess it looks like sort of like cotton candy or something.
Okay.
Like when obviously there's not thoughts like cotton candy in the air, but when he reaches up with that magic grasp and pulls it down, and so it's like full. He slams it shut, wraps it in I don't know. What would you wrap it in? Just like film? How would you have film? It would make sense to have, if you knew you had this spell, it would make sense to have a few cases, but to have just like freeform film is very silly. It doesn't need wrapping, it's a case.
I mean, it's magic, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, does it just form a giant caplet but it's got like, but it looks like it's made out of film reel?
Yeah, no, I think what it does is the case shuts, but then it, you know, a VHS is rectangular, but this starts to balloon in the middle until it has the look of like, I don't know, the Lion King case, but now it is oblong and filthy.
Sure.
And then just starts climbing. Like starts climbing this sort of stuck in place, but you know, still dangerous dragon.
Yeah, you're shoving away past the red shirt wizards, as you sort of force yourself to the front to get to this dragon. Still struggling, still moving a little bit, still snapping somewhat. Those teeth are very sharp, but immobile enough that with a little bit of skill and maybe a bit of luck as well, you'll be able to get that pill in there. As Lady Adrian says, "What are you doing?"
I think like he gets the pill in the mouth and then like he punches it to get it like deep enough in there that this poor dragon will reflexively swallow.
Gotta rub the throat.
Maybe that'll happen as I like slide down, but I don't know if this roll goes poorly enough. Perhaps
we'll see.
I will be swallowed along with it.
You're rolling with advantage, and you have a +3. It would be a miracle if it went bad for you.
God, wouldn't that be funny though?
It would be funny though, given the night we've had. Nope.
There we go.
Stellar.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah. So then I think he fireman shimmies down like a fire pole, but the dragon's neck, and that kind of makes it go. And he like lands on the ground beside Elsinore and is like, oh, fingers crossed.
So yeah, it's the spell casts. There's this huge surge of energy from the belly of the dragon as the pill goes down, and then everything is just still for just a moment. The dust settles. You hear the fluttering of robes die down as wizards that were in the middle of casting spells stop, and the ensorcelled glow in the dragon's eyes pulse once, twice, and then finally fades, and you see the dragon's regular reptilian eyes as it throws its head back and roars, sending Lady Adverian flying from its back. Its wings begin to glow as it's under its full faculties is able to fairly effortlessly now exert its own magical energy to break itself free from the glue and paper, and immediately snaps at Lady Adverian. But the moment before it strikes again, her father appears, and there's just this huge crashing sound as he holds a hand up and creates an energy field. The dragon is biting at it, trying to get through, and he just looks at his daughter and he says, "Pumpkin, you are super grounded." And the two of them teleport away. But now the dragon, still enraged, still summoned, turns to stare down everyone who's here. Now, fully under its own control, fully pissed off, fully extant, pulled from whatever dimension it was slumbering in previously. I don't know if somebody wants to dramatically reappear and do something. I mean,
Wink, wink,
it
nudge,
might be
nudge.
time.
Bird
Okay.
is definitely like looks at Elsinore with a shrug and is like,
Descending from the rafters of the
Oh,
convention
yes.
center.
Beautiful.
Gliding down on wings slowly, landing delicately on one toe and then into a standing position. We see Mixolydian again. However, they're they only have a metaphorical hat now. They lost their hat in the explosion.
Okay. Sure.
whoa.
And their robe completely burned away. But what you see now is like a Freddie Mercury jacket, like the bedazzled one with the like crazy pattern on it.
Yeah.
Except it's made out of the upholstery. That
Oh God.
was
Okay.
previously the skeletons.
Yeah.
And you see Mixolydian's face for the first time.
Oh right, because you have the hat. Yes.
Yeah, Mixolydian is a skeleton.
Oh.
They have jewels for eyes.
What a twist! All right. The dragon sort of stares you down, and it's clear that there's some sort of recognition. After all, as the Grey Robe, you are one of the old ones, and so there is a little bit of recognized game. But the dragon is still pissed, and will need at least some rebuking before it's ready to give up its revenge. It couldn't eat the person it was most mad at. Maybe second most mad at will do in the time being.
Also, if any of the wizards are anthropologists, they could tell that the skull is kind of wrong. Like this seems like it's like a previous like kind of human before humans fully evolved.
Whoa.
Whoa, even
Progressive
wow.
evolution.
Mixolydian is
gene.
ancient.
That's so rad.
Yeah, progressive evolution indeed.
Speaking of progressive evolution,
Yeah.
Mixolydian loudly pronounces, "Take this, bird brain," and
Oh.
I'm gonna try to evolve this dragon into a chicken.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God. Yeah. You have a 0. So we could actually. Well, we'll see. It's all
Hey,
been. It's all.
You're the
been
one who
fine.
said multiple times you can still roll on a 0.
Yeah, you can still roll on a 0. I'm just. Yes. You can.
Elsinore's playing
I mean,
some dramatic music.
You're just so overdue for something to go bad. Oh God. Okay. Not a
7.
single failure. What a game! What a game! Okay, what does this elder dragon god chicken look? What is it? What does it look like? You did it. You did it.
Based on the logic that I said earlier, that like
Uh-huh.
a dragon is just like a dinosaur, basically. I'm trying
Sure.
to
That's
push
fancy.
the dragon into the future where it becomes more bird-like,
Yeah.
and shrinks somewhat.
So on the scale of dragon to chicken, how chicken is it?
Probably like middle anamorph.
Sure. So now it's this little chicken that's maybe a little long. It's like it's feathered, it's plump, but it's still on all fours, a little bit long. It's still got a tail, but it has a regular chicken head. But it's still spitting out little gouts of flame as it sort of angrily but ultimately helplessly sort of stomps around the table. Long chicken, breathing fire, but it's at least until the spell wears off, I guess. I don't know how this progressive evolution gene spell works, but for the time being, the Elder Dragon God is completely at your mercy. The gathered wizards breathe a sigh of relief. You do still have to choose if you're going to lose your grip on the spell or take a hit to the stat. It doesn't really matter, but just for narrative framing, what do you think it is? Is this
I'll
progressively
lose
evolving
a
a
stat.
dragon, losing a stat. Sure. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Uh, I think
The rope
you know,
did get burned away.
I mean, but it's so much better now. I almost feel like you should gain points in rope. It's so cool. As upholstery Freddie Mercury, who could say no to that? I'm gonna take a point from staff, I think. Um, uh, the effort of surviving the blast, putting yourself back together, and sort of staying in the fight to do this last thing just wore you out. So now you are completely exhausted physically. You can no longer do non-magic stuff with staff.
Also,
in this
I'm a
weakened
fucking
state.
skeleton person.
You are also
Like,
a
you
skeleton.
can knock me
That is
the
also
fuck
true.
over.
Yeah,
I have
that is
nothing
also
holding me
true.
together besides weird ancient magic.
But the con has been saved. So
Woo.
I think somebody from the con staff comes and collects the dragon god. You probably are going to be taken aside to explain how your spell works, and they can figure out long-term plans for the god. But that's for other people to worry about at the end of the day. Cleanup happens. Whoever got injured fighting the dragon gets patched up. Official announcement goes out that this time for real, Lady Aeryn is permanently banned from WizCon.
Yeah.
There's no amount of influence her father can try to exert that is going to undo this ban. This is an eternal ban hex that has been cast upon the convention itself and all future iterations. That was day 2, so there's still one day left of the con. What does the last day look like for the 3 of our brave wizards, heroes of the con? Word spreads far and wide of your deeds.
I
I
think one
mainly
of the
come here
first
to
things-
network.
Oh.
I think definitely on day 3 there are a number of people who are cosplaying as the 3 of you. The varying
my
level of
God.
success.
That's amazing.
Jorrit is already selling several different fics about your group now.
Oh.
Spectacular.
Maybe don't read the NSFW ones. I don't know. It's up to you. He's not going to stop you.
I think one of the first things Siberta says to Mixolydian is like, "Whoa, did not realize how cut you are." Damn, dude.
0% body fat, in fact.
So for most people, it'd be over the top, but like, you really rock it. Where did you go?
I blew up. It
Oh.
took me about 24 hours to reform my body.
I see.
Wow. Gotta admit, extremely cool. May I one day be as rad?
I lost my hat, though. Maybe
Oh
we
my
could
God.
buy a new hat at the
I was just
con.
gonna say, can we do a hat shopping montage?
Oh my goodness.
Hat shopping montage. Yeah, of course. Okay, what is the worst hat you try on? What is the best hat you try on? And which is the hat that you end up with? I know it's a lot to put on you as we're trying to wrap this up.
So, like, I was a pretty ancient wizard. I had a pretty ancient hat. Do you think like I need to like update for like the modern era, or do we get something classic?
I mean,
I think a bad one would be what's the meme of the guy with like a backwards Louis Vuitton print cap, like scumbag whoever? I feel like that's the worst you try on. You're like modern.
Is that the one you suggest?
Oh, honestly, it might be.
at one point we definitely need a cut of you wearing a baseball cap that says "Wizards love me, dragons fear me" on it.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
That's good. I think I ended up going with like a really classy like tricorn.
Nice.
Tricorn, but then very pointy in the middle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it tricorn wizard? Does it go up?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Like, what if a wizard pirate?
I mean, you're already a skull and crossbones, so yeah.
I think on day 3.
Any last parting shots of our 3 wizards as the con draws to a close?
Yeah, I think Elsinor's been like trying to play at like music at the con for years, and finally gets the chance to do like a set on stage.
Oh, you get invited to be part of the concert
Yeah.
at the end of day 3. You get pulled up.
With some leaf dogs doing backup dancing.
Beautiful. Everybody
That's
loves the
cool.
leaf dogs. You wouldn't even know how, but there are definitely a bunch of people with leaf dog plushies in the crowd. Don't
I
question.
want a leaf dog plushie. That's the best.
Yeah. That's great.
Any parting words from Cybertus?
No, I think he said what he wanted to say.
All right, and with that, I guess then, this game with Wizards of Words will come to a close. You did it. You stopped the Elder Dragon God. You saved WizCon 2022. You will be invited back for sure as guests of honors. You don't even have to buy your passes for the next,
Oh,
I don't know, next year, and then we'll see how we feel about you in the future. But at least 1 year on the house.
Yeah, we'll have to save the world again next con in order to get that privilege.
I mean, there's a lot of world saving to be had when it's a room full of wizards. Every year something happens.
Yeah.
Maybe next year it'll be Cthulhu, who could say? So I'd like to say thanks again for everyone, to everyone for tuning in and donating. We had, other than Brandon again, shout out to Brandon who couldn't be here, but for helping inspire this game. Thank you to Zero, January, and Remus as well for your donations.
Ooh.
Again, you can find me at Starving Gamer and check out this game at thisisnotatable.itch.io. Where can people find you, Devin?
You can find me at Devin Decibel on Twitter. You can hear my music at devindecibel.bandcamp.com, and you can check out my games at devindecibel.itch.io.
Kai?
I'm Alpha39 on Twitter. And that's pretty much it. If you're interested in Roll Plus Bond, follow the Twitter at Roll Plus Bond. If somehow you aren't on the server and you're watching, send a DM to the Twitter account and you can get an invite.
And
Check
thanks
it out.
again, Remus, for keeping the stream running smooth and for playing. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at The Lost Larrikin.
All right. So, oh, sorry. Did you have more?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. I thought I heard something. Didn't want to step over the stuff. So, this may be the end of our Wizards adventure, but the fun here does continue for 20 more hours. Thanks again to our donators, everybody who's donated so far. And if you're still thinking about donating, again, be sure to check out blackandpink.org, then visit donate.rollplusbond.com to look into that further. The campaign will remain open for a little while after the stream ends, but if you happen to miss it, or if you are coming to this recording sometime after the fact, check out Black and Pink anyways. Consider giving directly. It's a really worthwhile cause. So, again, for everyone, I've been Aeryn. Thanks again, Devin, Kai, and Remus for playing. Thanks to all of you for tuning in and for your generosity. Fuck the carpool system. Fuck capitalism. But please stay right here for Anomaly, a game about supernatural investigation by Carter Richmond, starting in, probably about 10 minutes.
Nice.
Awesome.
Good night.
Bye.
GG.
Bye.